Chapter 237. To cultivators, a few days was just like a snap of a finger. 17 outer endless sea great cultivators, and 74 inner endless sea great cultivators, gathered at the Extreme Paradise Summit. When Ning Fan arrived alone, Su Rushan nodded his head, and led the group of cultivators into the sea together with Yan Zhongzi. That's right. It was rare to see Ning Fan alone. The female corpse was kept into his cauldron ring, and handed over to Bing Ling and Yu Ling to take care of. The secret realm of the broken world did not allow divine transformation realm cultivators to enter. If it was in the past, the female corpse would never leave Ning Fan's side. Today, however, as the female corpse's favorable impression of Ning Fan increased, she became more obedient to his orders. Even if she was unwilling, she could only sit quietly in the red misty space beside a small bridge and embroider on her own. The patterns she embroidered were all about Ning Fan. Alone. The female corpse muttered to herself as if she had been wronged. Ning Fan only had 5 months to stay in the secret realm of the broken world. He could only let her suffer a little during these 5 months. The entrance to the secret realm of the broken world was at the bottom of the Pleasure Devil Sea, right below the Pleasure Island. This place was rich in marine minerals. The massive magnetic force caused the deepest part of the sea to reveal a waterless space with a radius of 10,000 li. In this place, the void was unstable, but it did not collapse. Instead, it was vaguely connected to another world. This place was the entrance to the secret realm. The coral minerals were as clear as crystals. The mermen and the other sea beasts retreated. Stepping on the sand, Ning Fan and the other cultivators descended to the deepest part of the sea. There were 14 nascent soul realm cultivators of the Pleasure Devil sect guarding a door of 7-colored light. The door was 3 zhang tall. It was still in a sealed state. There were still 3 days before it would be completely opened. Outside the door stood a gigantic purple crystal stele that was 100 zhang tall. Countless names were carved on it. Some of them were black, while some were gray. Su Rushan's eyes met Ning Fan's. When he saw a hint of confidence in Ning Fan's eyes, he calmed down a little. Before entering the secret realm of the broken world, he needed to explain the rules to the great cultivators here. Everyone knows that those who can enter the secret realm must be cultivators below the soul formation stage. There are many dangers in the secret realm, so I don't recommend anyone who hasn't reached the grand cultivator stage to enter. This time, there are a total of 92 friends who are willing to come to the secret realm at my invitation. However, this secret realm only allows 40 people to enter at one time. Hence, whoever can enter will depend on their strength. As for the benefits of entering the secret realm, I won't say much. There will definitely be a drop of Mother Earth's nether milk. Every time you kill a pseudo-desolate beast and hand over a fey core, you will be able to exchange for a drop of nether milk. The effect of 2 drops of nether milk is equivalent to a nascent soul Dao fruit. As long as everyone finds the demon cores, this old man will not be stingy with the nether milk. Su Rushan's words caused the eyes of the cultivators to burn passionately. At this stage of cultivation, it was extremely difficult to raise his magical power by 1.5 stars. A drop of nether milk was equivalent to 10 armor. 2 drops of nether milk was equivalent to a Dao fruit. In order to obtain such treatment, these cultivators had to fight for it no matter what. Even if they entered the secret realm and didn't kill the pseudo-desolate beasts, they would still be able to obtain a drop of nether milk after entering seclusion for half a year, wouldn't they? If they were lucky enough to kill 1 or 2 desolate beasts, the benefits were self-evident. However, in the past, there had never been more than 40 grand cultivators who entered the secret realm at the same time. Therefore, late nascent soul stage cultivators could still fight for a chance. This time, there were too many grand cultivators. Among the 92, 52 of them had to be eliminated. More than half of the grand cultivators had no chance to enter the secret realm. Among this batch of grand cultivators, the strength of the cultivators from the internal sea was obviously higher than those from the outer sea. There were even a few of them who were the elites of the 7 venerated forces. It would not be easy to fight for a spot. May I know how to choose the 40 spots? An old grand cultivator asked respectfully. How to choose? Everyone, please take a look at this gigantic amethyst stele. This stele is called the slaughter stele. In the past, All the cultivators who entered the secret realm had to imprint their names on it. However, there are different rankings. This stele can imprint a total of 1,000 names. The higher the ranking, the stronger one is. Everyone's gaze fell upon the gigantic amethyst stele. Ning Fan's gaze swept across the stele. There were 1,000 names on the stele. Some of them were black, while some were gray. Some of them were carved thousands of years ago, while some of them were new cultivators who had entered the outer endless sea during the past hundreds of years. The grand cultivator who killed 11 wild beasts by himself in the past was ranked 47th. As for Su Rushan, his name was imprinted at the 13th place. Before he became a divine transformation realm cultivator, he had also entered the secret realm to fight. In the past thousands of years, his strength was ranked 13th among those who entered the secret realm. The first 12 people were all cultivators of the internal sea. They were all peak nascent soul stage cultivators in the past. Now they were all famous divine transformation realm cultivators in the internal sea. After going through the names of 1,000 people, many old monsters were shocked. Senior Su Rushan had also entered the secret realm in the past. However, his strength was only ranked 13th among the countless people who entered the secret realm. Look, the one ranked 7th is the sect master of the internal sea floating waves sect. He is a mid-divine transformation realm cultivator, Duan Songyun. The one ranked 4th is the vice clan master of the Zhou clan of the internal sea, Zhou Wei. His name should have been carved 3,000 years ago. Now Zhou Wei is a late divine transformation realm cultivator. The one ranked 1st is Zhu Yan. He seems to be the first person to enter the secret realm. Impressive. However, this Zhu Yan's name seems a little unfamiliar. Moreover, it seems like this person is the only one whose name is read. Idiot. This Zhu Yan is the father of venerated giant, the former revered elder of the giant devil clan. He was an expert who was only half a step away from breaking through to the void refinement realm. After reading the names on the purple stele, many old monsters were eager to have a try. They wanted to see if their strength could stand out among the 92 people. They wanted to know what their ranking would be when their names are carved on the purple stele. However, there were also some old monsters who were doubtful about the black and gray color of the names. Senior Su, may I ask why the names on the stele are divided into black and gray? What does the red color mean? Even if you don't ask, I will explain it to you. As you can see, the names that are black and gray represent the people who have entered the secret realm. The gray ones naturally mean that they died in the secret realm. When Su Rushan said that, many old monsters secretly sucked in a cold breath. It was because 40% of the thousands of names on the stele were gray. In other words, the death rate of the cultivators in the secret realm of the broken world was 40%. Of course, most of the people who entered the secret realm and died in the past were late nascent soul realm, or even mid-nascent soul realm cultivators. This time, all the people who entered the secret realm were peak nascent soul realm cultivators. Thus, the death rate was naturally not high. However, it still showed that the secret realm was dangerous. What about the red color? Ning Fan broke the silence and asked. The former clan master of the giant devil clan, Zhu Yan. If Ning Fan was not mistaken, the red color of his name was completely dyed red by evil qi. The red color represents that those who entered the secret realm have killed more than 100 people. I hope that I can meet fellow Taoist Zhou this time. His name is Red. Hiss. Each of the old monsters was filled with deep respect for him. The former clan master of the giant devil clan had entered the secret realm alone and killed more than 100 false wild beasts within a year with his cultivation base below the divine transformation realm. His combat power was heaven-defying. No wonder he could become the former clan master of the giant devil clan. Such an expert actually lived in the era before the old monsters were born, and never had the chance to meet him. Red, huh? Ning Fan's eyes lit up. He wanted to see what rank his strength would be recognized by the stele. Next, please place your palms on the purple crystal stele, and inject a trace of magic power into it. The stele will automatically rank you. I'll go first. I'll be the second. The test lasted for 3 days. One by one, the eccentrics placed their hands onto the huge stele. Given the level of their cultivation bases, They carved their names onto the steel. It was a piece of cake for them to get into the top 1,000. In fact, if there were no mishaps, all of them would be in the top 500. However, the best rank among half of them was just a guest great cultivator of one of the 72 islands. He was ranked 247th. Those who could get into the top 200 must be the elites of the endless sea within 10,000 years. It was an honor to be ranked within the top 200. Let me have a try. A boy in red robes with a hoarse voice took a step forward. Immediately, the crowd gave way to him. This person was the sixth elder of the Demon Sealing Palace, Chu-He. He placed his palm on the purple crystal steel and immediately carved Chu-He's name on the 174th position. This person had 9,000 units of magic power. He was a half-step divine transformation realm cultivator. His other identity was the elder brother of the seventh elder, Ing-He. Moreover, the reason why Ing-He was able to get into the seventh elder's position despite his late nascent soul realm cultivation base was all because of his elder brother. Chu-He. It's the 7 lives Chu-He. Legend has it that this person used the secret technique of the Demon Sealing Palace, the corpse melting technique, to fuse with the corpse of a 9 lives cat. He can die 10 times. This person is a madman. He once sacrificed 3 lives to destroy the physical body of an early divine transformation realm old monster. He still has 7 lives. That was when the name 7 Lives Devil was spread. He was ranked within the top 100 on the Devil appraisal list. However, this person is the elder brother of Ing-He. Ing-He seems to be killed by Venerated Ming. This Chu-He won't seek trouble with Venerated Ming, right? Are you stupid? Venerated Ming is the person who killed a divine transformation realm cultivator with a single finger. Even old ancestor Zigu represented the Demon Sealing Palace to form a good relationship with Venerated Ming. No matter how lawless this Chu-He is, would he dare to disobey the orders of the sect and offend Venerated Ming? The discussion of the crowd made Chu-He's eyes turn gloomy. His short and small body turned around to look at Ning Fan, concealing his ferocious gaze. This Zhou Ming is indeed powerful. However, this old man's life is tough. It's not impossible for me to drag him to death. However, old ancestor Zigu has instructed us to prioritize the important matters in this secret realm. We have already gathered 12 king mermaids and mermen. It's barely enough for us to carry out the ancient demon sacrificial ceremony. However, if Ing-He wasn't killed by Zhou Ming, if Zhou Ming didn't kill a few king mermaids and mermen, and if we managed to gather 18 king mermaids and mermen, the sacrificial ceremony would almost certainly succeed. Humph. I'll have to wait for old ancestor Zigu to personally avenge me. This time, the mission is our priority. The only thing I'm not sure about is whether this man has seen Ing-He's memories or not. Since Ing-He doesn't know everything about this mission, even if this Zhou Ming has seen something, he certainly won't know everything about it. Chu-He's ferocious gaze was hidden very deeply. However, Ning Fan had killed countless people and was very sensitive to killing intent. He could still sense a trace of killing intent from Chu-He's eyes. Demon Sealing Sect. Ning Fan's eyes did not move. If this Chu-He dares to provoke me, I don't care if he has 7 or 70 lives, he will definitely die. All the peak nascent soul realm cultivators had their rankings tested. The first 39 people revealed a joyful expression, while the latter 52 people sighed inwardly. The last person to be tested was Ning Fan. However, even a fool would know that a person who could eliminate a divine transformation realm expert would certainly be ranked in the top 40. It was highly possible that his ranking was higher than Chu-He's. I wonder if Venerated Zhou can enter the top 100. I bet that Venerated Zhou can enter the top 50. Top 50? That's going to be a little difficult. I bet that he can enter the top 80. Humph. After Chu-He let out a cold harumph, everyone stopped discussing among themselves. Even though he could not openly provoke Ning Fan due to his mission, he was still unwilling to see Ning Fan's aura force overpowering him. He was only ranked 174th and there were actually people who bet that Ning Fan would enter the top 50. I bet that he won't enter the top 200. After all, his cultivation base is just at the late nascent soul realm. Chu-He's words immediately caused an uproar among the peak nascent soul realm cultivators. Everyone had witnessed Ning Fan's combat power. However, his cultivation base had always been a mystery. Unless it was a divine transformation realm expert, no one would be able to tell that Ningfan who stirred the external endless sea was actually just at the late nascent soul realm. Many of them snorted disdainfully at Chu He's words. They did not believe that a late nascent soul realm cultivator could kill a divine transformation realm cultivator with a single finger. However, there were also some who felt that Chu He was not lying. There were some who were envious of Ningfan's devil might. If Ningfan is really a late nascent soul realm cultivator, his combat power would be astonishing. However, Chu He was the only one who dared to say it in front of everyone. This person was also extremely daring. Firstly, Purple Goo had stated clearly that Ningfan was not allowed to hurt the cultivators of the Demon Sealing Palace. Secondly, Chu He had 7 lives. He was not afraid of death. A spirit-severing realm cultivator could only kill him 3 times. Even if Ningfan was stronger than him, Chu He was confident that he could kill Ningfan at the cost of 3 lives. Due to the mission, he did not dare to become Ningfan's enemy. However, he was not afraid of Ningfan. Su Russian's eyes darkened while Yan Zhongzi almost had the urge to curse. Ningfan couldn't enter the top 200? What a joke! Even Yan Zhongzi himself would not be able to withstand that finger attack. Su Russian would not be able to either. Both of them believed that Ningfan would be able to enter the top 100, top 50 or even top 10, let alone the top 200. For a moment, Su Russian and Yan Zhongzi hoped that Ningfan would immediately carve his name on the list to sweep away all the rumors. Among the crowd, old ancestor Dong Su and Su Qiuling stood together with many cultivators who wanted to watch the show. Ling Er, what do you think your brother Zhou will rank? Dong Su asked with a smile. First place, Su Qiuling said firmly. Everyone says that a woman's heart is always on the outside. You haven't even married him yet, and in your eyes, brother Zhou is already unparalleled? First place? He can't get the first place. At most, he can get the 9th place. Why? Young Master Zhou is so powerful. Su Qiuling asked in confusion. You don't know this. This secret realm of the broken world was first discovered by the giant devil clan. In the first few thousand years, only early spirit-severing realm cultivators could enter this place. The person who pioneered this place was the old clan leader of the giant devil clan, Zhu Yan. He was an incredible figure in the Endless Sea when he was still alive. When he was roaming the Endless Sea, I was just a gold core realm junior, who had just started cultivating the devil path. In order to pioneer this place, he killed hundreds of fake wild beasts. Currently, his actual cultivation base was already above the spirit-severing realm. After that, there were spirit-severing realm cultivators who entered this place to hunt wild beasts. Apart from Zhu Yan, the top 9 cultivators entered the place at that time. However, because Zhu Yan single-handedly slaughtered all the wild beasts, these 8 spirit-severing realm cultivators did not obtain many demon cores to refine weapons and treasures. That's why their names were not read. Otherwise, they would probably be able to kill close to 100 wild beasts. After that, there were signs of the secret realm collapsing. No spirit-severing realm cultivators could enter this place, and great cultivators could no longer hunt wild beasts. After thousands of years of cultivation, the number of wild beasts gradually increased. Experts like Su Russian entered the place after that. It can be said that the 10th place is actually the first place below the spirit-severing realm, because the top 9 are all spirit-severing realm cultivators. However, I still think that young Master Zhou can get the first place. Su Qiuling smiled faintly. Why do you have so much confidence in him? He is indeed so mysterious that I can't see through him. However, even if he enters the top 9, it's impossible for him to be the first place. It's because the first place belongs to the old venerable giant, the master who can guide the 7 venerated beings of the internal sea on how to break through to the void refinement realm. Is there anyone who can compare to him in this aspect? Su Qiuling smiled. She had unlimited confidence in Ningfan. Ningfan's eyes were calm as he walked to the front of the gigantic amethyst stele. He did not show off, nor did he have the intention to fight. Instead, when he stood in front of the huge stele, the aura force in his eyes rose sharply. It was as if all the killing he had done in his entire life was pressed down on this palm. I want the first place. The two words Zhou Ming slowly appeared on the gigantic amethyst stele, appearing above the gigantic words. First place. He was the most outstanding person among all the people who had their names carved on the slaughter stele in the past countless years. Everyone had guessed wrongly. The method of judging the ranking of cultivators on the slaughter stele was not as simple as one's cultivation base or combat strength. It was not enough to judge a cultivator's combat strength alone. Most of the time, it was used to judge a cultivator's killing power. Many of the devil lords present had the experience of annihilating a country of mortals. They had the blood of tens of thousands of mortals on their hands. However, the people Ningfan killed were only cultivators. How could an ordinary person compare to such a vicious chi? Not only did his name appear in the first place, but it was also dyed with a trace of red from the moment it appeared. That red color was a vicious chi. Ningfan was the first person who dyed his name red with vicious chi before carving his name on the stele. At this moment, Ningfan's eyes were still indifferent. However, his body was glowing with a vicious red light. When he turned his head and his eyes fell on Chu-He felt a terrifying pressure as if he was being stared at by an ancient ferocious beast. He took a few steps back and his body was drenched in cold sweat. I must die. I must die. If I provoke this person, I will definitely die. Even if I have 770 or 700 lives, this person will kill me one by one. So what if he is Juyan? So what if he is a spirit-severing realm expert? My enemies are all void fragmentation realm experts and true immortals. My battlefield is above the four heavens. In this place, I cannot be weaker than Juyan. How can I be weaker than Juyan? Ningfan's battle intent rose. At this moment, the secret realm opened at the end of the 3 days. Like a sharp arrow, he stepped into the 7-colored door of light in one step. The people behind him were destined to be inferior to him. Because from the very beginning, they didn't have the ambition to be number one. They didn't have the ambition to surpass Juyan. However, if one did not have a resolute heart, one would not be able to become an immortal even if there were millions of fortuitous opportunities. Su Rushan and Yen Zhongzi looked at each other and didn't speak for a long time. However, their eyes were filled with shock. All the great cultivators were shocked speechless. And they even forgot to enter the door of light. Su Qiuling revealed a cheerful smile. She was the only one who believed in Ningfan's strength. Master Linger is right. Cough, cough, cough. Little girl, did you already know that Zhou Ming is stronger than the early divine transformation realm venerable? I don't know. But Ling believes in young Master Zhou. The cultivators of the Endless Sea were not as good as young Master Zhou. The cultivators of the Rain World were not as good as young Master Zhou. The cultivators of the 9 worlds were not as good as young Master Zhou. The cultivators of the 4 heavens were not as good as young Master Zhou. Perhaps there are countless people whose cultivation base is higher than young masters, but one day, young Master Zhou will step on the peak of heaven and earth. Linger believes. Lass, you are blindly trusting him. So what if I'm blind? Is it wrong to trust a person without regret? Chapter 238. The rainbow-colored gate of light teleported all the great cultivators away. Within the 70 million li region, Ningfan stood on a mountain peak with the map of the secret realm in his hand. With a sweep of his divine sense, it covered a radius of 3,000 miles. After observing the terrain, he confirmed that he was in the eastern region of the secret realm. He frowned. The demonic spiritual energy in this place was so dense. As the name suggests, demonic spiritual energy is the spiritual energy of heaven and earth that only demonic cultivators can absorb and cultivate. The amount of demonic spiritual energy here was so great that it was almost like the demon clan was blessed by the heavens to cultivate. If converted to the heaven and earth spiritual energy of the human clan, the density of the spiritual energy here was 10 times that of the metal spiritual energy of the Joyous Union Island. Even the high-grade cultivation countries in the Endless Sea might not necessarily have such a level of spiritual power. Perhaps only the cultivation countries with void refinement realm and void fragmentation realm experts would have the possibility of possessing such spiritual power. Such a dense amount of demon spiritual energy is indeed enough to allow a demon beast to cultivate at an extraordinary speed. However, if ordinary demonic beasts were to evolve into desolate beasts in a few hundred years, it still wouldn't be enough. Furthermore, if it was just a place with dense spirit energy, demonic beasts wouldn't just evolve with magic power that was comparable to desolate beasts. Their cultivation realms would also increase. There was something strange about this place. There should be other reasons for the demonic beasts to increase their strength. However, due to the demonic spiritual force, Ning Fan's plan had some changes. According to Ning Fan's initial plan, he was going to open up a cave in this place and improve his strength first. Then, he would use the remaining time to wipe out the false wild beasts. However, to refine the Mother Earth nether milk, firstly, there wasn't enough time, and secondly, the location wasn't right. Furthermore, it was not a good place to refine the Dao fruit and the blue phoenix flame. The heaven and earth spirit chi in this place was too thin. If he wanted to increase his strength in this place, the most suitable place would be to increase his demonic power. Demonic power. Ning Fan stood at the peak of the mountain and his eyes narrowed. He had only been in this mystic realm for a few breaths, but several bird-type demonic beasts had already flapped their wings and attacked him with vicious cries. At the end of the sky, there was a group of more than 10 black-feathered eagles. Each of them was more than 1,000 feet long, and had the demonic power of a nascent soul cultivator. The silver-winged eagle in the lead was even more than 1,000 feet long. Desolate beast. Ning Fan's sword sense swept across and the black light dispersed. The nascent soul realm demon eagle's body was immediately crushed, and its blood splattered across the sky. His demonic power needed to reach the nascent soul level. But his realm was still at the early golden core stage. The sword sense was enough to kill him. Rays of red light that could not be erased rose around Ning Fan's body. It was evil chi. This murderous aura was enough to make a real desolate beast afraid. However, this fake desolate beast seemed to be possessed. Its eagle eyes were blood red, and it did not know fear. With a flap of its wings, a black wind blew. The black wind covered 1,000 miles and turned into black feathers. Each of them was powerful enough to kill a late-stage golden core cultivator. This eagle was called Black Falcon. Black wind turning to feathers was just a Jindan level Yao art. However, with the demonic power of the soul formation level, the black feathers covered the sky and the sun. There were probably tens of thousands of them. In other words, it was not difficult for the eagle to kill tens of thousands of golden cores with a single flap of its wings. Even a nascent soul cultivator would find it hard to defend against tens of thousands of black feathers. It is ultimately a pseudo-desolate beast. It can't even control heaven and earth essence force, much less the heaven spirit art. Ning Fan completely ignored Heiyu. He took a step forward and with a flash of his half-transformed black smoke, he directly crossed the distance of several thousand zhang, and appeared on the head of the giant eagle. With a cold glint in his eyes, he raised his foot and stomped down. His stomp was like the fall of a devil mountain. Wherever he stepped on, countless cracks spread across the sky. Under the immense strength of the Jade Life realm, the giant eagle's head was crushed by Ning Fan's stomp before it could even struggle. However, as soon as the eagle's head was crushed, a black wind immediately swirled and another head was born. This was out of Ning Fan's expectation. The demonic beasts in this place did not have strong techniques, but their lives were pretty tough. One should know that cultivators would usually slack off after killing their enemies. If their enemies were to come back to life and deal a fatal blow to them, they would probably die due to carelessness. No wonder 40% of the cultivators in this place would die. As expected, when the eagle's head was reborn, the giant eagle revealed a furious expression. The black feathers on its body fell like swords and pierced towards Ning Fan, who was on top of his head. However, Ning Fan was still standing on the giant eagle's head with his hands clasped behind his back. His eyes focused and a faint jade-colored astral spirit rose around his body. It was like a huge jade-colored cocoon of light, enveloping him within. This jade-colored astral spirit could only be used by Jade Life Realm cultivators. By using the strength of their physical body to suppress the primordial chi of heaven and earth, they would transform the primordial wind of heaven and earth into the astral spirit's protection. Even a strike from a peak nascent soul realm cultivator would not be able to destroy this astral spirit. As long as these black feathers were elementary grade astral spirit shields, they would immediately be burnt into nothingness by jade-colored flames. Tens of thousands of black feathers were burnt to ashes. The astral spirit had only used up 1/3 of its spiritual power, and it had yet to dissipate. That's all you've got. Mountain crushing. Ning Fan pointed his finger, and the mountains within 1,000 li began to crumble. Every time a mountain crumbled, the force of his finger became stronger. When the mountains collapsed and the earth cracked, 1,000 li of ruins were destroyed. The blood-red eyes of the giant eagle revealed an instinctive fear for the first time. However, this fear was already too late. Just as this fear rose and wanted to escape, it was annihilated by that unknown blood-red color, and turned into an immortal battle intent. Roar! The giant eagle frantically shook off its black feathers to attack Ning Fan, even though it was futile. All of its struggles stopped when Ning Fan pressed the sword light on his fingertip. A dark yellow finger sword was born. The sword light was like an aurora. With a tremble, it went into the giant eagle's head. Then it exploded within its 1,000 zhong body, turning into countless hair-thin sword threads that were torn apart. A moment later, the giant eagle's 1,000 zhong body exploded into a mist of blood. Blood rained down on the ground within a radius of several thousand zhong. Ning Fan stood in the sky and flicked his sleeve. A fist-sized black demon core appeared in his hand. Then he waved one of his hands and grabbed at the blood rain. Be it the blood mist that was drifting away or the blood that seeped into the ruins, all of them were drawn back and turned into a large black blood ball that floated in front of him. After continuously compressing the blood ball, it slowly condensed into a drop of glossy black demon blood, the blood of a false wild beast. Ning Fan kept the demon core and left it to Su Rushan. However, this demon blood was a great tonic that could increase one's demon power. In this place where the demon's spiritual power was extremely dense, if Ning Fan had enough demon blood, his demon power cultivation base might reach a terrifying level. A drop of this false wild beast's black blood was enough to increase one's demon power by 1 level. However, Ning Fan did not devour the black blood immediately. His eyes eventually fell on the demon blood, and his gaze suddenly froze. Within the black demon blood, there was an extremely thin trace of pale golden blood that was slowly dissipating in the air. This is, Ning Fan flicked his finger. The black blood trembled, and the faint golden color within it was forced out by him. It was then absorbed into his hand. It was a trace of pale golden blood. However, the demon power it contained was almost 2 times that of the black blood. Moreover, this trace of pale golden blood revealed a kind of aura force that was even stronger than Dong Su and Yu Lingkong's aura force. Without a doubt, this was the blood of an expert of the demon race. It was even stronger than a peak divine transformation realm expert, or a half-step void refinement realm expert. It must be the blood of a void refinement realm demon marshal. The blood of a demon marshal? Could it be that this blood is the reason why the demon beasts turned into the false wild beast? Is it the reason why the giant eagle did not dare to run away, even though it was clearly afraid of it? This pale golden blood was so dense that it could not be devoured immediately. It could only be devoured with the help of demon herbs. Ning Fan patted his storage pouch, and kept the trace of pale golden blood into a jade bottle. However, at the next moment, another jade bottle in his storage pouch seemed to resonate with this bottle of pale golden blood. That jade bottle was the one Ning Fan snatched from the companion demon of the carp when he was in Great Jin. He remembered that there was a drop of extremely powerful demon blood in that bottle. With Ning Fan's harmonious spirit realm back then, he must not devour that demon blood. Now, however, his body was strong enough to withstand the power of that demon blood. He remained silent. Then he took out the jade bottle and probed it with his spirit sense. Inside the bottle was a complete drop of pale golden blood. An entire drop of demon marshal's blood. This drop of blood should be condensed from 100 traces of blood. A trace of pale golden blood could increase the demon power of 2 units. A drop of pale golden demon blood could increase the demon power of 200 units. After keeping the 2 jade bottles, Ning Fan opened his mouth and swallowed the black blood of the giant eagle. It did not take him too long to refine it. His demon power had increased to 67 units. The speed of absorbing demon blood in this place was unimaginably fast. However, the speed of refining items that could increase one's magic power was surprisingly slow. The blood of a demon marshal. Why would this item appear in this secret realm? Could it be that there is a demon marshal whose cultivation base is comparable to the void refinement realm in this secret realm? Moreover, the golden blood that I obtained from the giant eagle's body, and the one that Li Ban possesses are obviously from the same demon marshal. Li Ban. The reason why this secret realm exists might not be simple. Ning Fan patted his storage pouch and took out the map again. He stared at the empty area that was 70 million li away with a solemn expression. Could it be that there is a demon marshal in that inaccessible area? Could this place be related to the secret of the ancient demon race? After keeping the map, Ning Fan shook his cauldron ring and summoned the Wind Lady and the Tea Lady. After being plucked by Ning Fan, the two of them only had gold core realm demon power left. However, after a period of nourishment, their complexion became much better than before. The two of them seemed to be discussing something. As soon as they saw Ning Fan summoning them out of the red misty space, their bodies trembled and they stopped talking. "Greetings, Master. May I know what orders you have for me?" The two of them lowered their heads at the same time. Their beautiful hair covered their faces. Their faces were still full of scars. "I'm sorry. I promised you that I would concoct the appearance restoration pill, but I didn't have the time to do so." "Is that so? Even if Master doesn't concoct the pill, I wouldn't dare to resent you." Under the purple hair of the Wind Lady, a hint of disappointment flashed across her eyes. She was naturally disappointed that there was no appearance restoration pill. However, so what? She was Ning Fan's cauldron. Even if Ning Fan lied to her, she could not resent him. "However, I have already gathered all the spiritual herbs. Don't worry. As long as my cauldron is beautiful, it will be fine." Ning Fan smiled faintly and caressed their cheeks with his palm. Immediately, the Tea Lady revealed a coquettish smile while the Wind Lady was slightly touched. So the fifth revolution pill, the appearance restoration pill, naturally required 10,000 years old spiritual herbs. Ning Fan had already gathered enough spiritual herbs in such a short period of time. Thus, he naturally placed the task of healing their appearances in his heart. It was hard for the Wind Lady not to move. When she was a demon companion and had a lowly status, she had no choice but to disobey even if the demon general wanted to destroy her appearance. However, her new master was actually willing to restore their appearances. "Thank you." The Wind Lady smiled for the first time. Even though her appearance was extremely ugly, her smile was very beautiful. "If you want to thank me, wait until the day the pill is concocted. Now, I want to ask the two of you, do you know about this place? From Ning Fan's point of view, if this place was really related to the ancient demon race and the demon marshal was involved, the two ladies who were the companions of the demon general would more or less know something." However, when the two ladies saw this place, they immediately revealed a look of surprise. "And Master, how did you find this place?" This place. This is the land of slumber. There might be demon generals, or even demon marshals in slumber. It's extremely dangerous." As human cauldrons, the two ladies were concerned about Ning Fan's safety for the first time in their lives. The land of slumber? If that's the case, there really is a demon marshal here? Ning Fan's eyes turned solemn. "Yes. If I'm not mistaken, this place should be the first world." Chapter 239. The First World. It was Ning Fan's first time hearing about it. Master should know that the demon spirit land is the heaven realm where heavenly demons ascend. The heaven realm of the human race is divided into 4 heavens while the demon spirit realm is divided into the awakening realm and the dream realm. Demon General Li Ban and me are the ones who awakened from the dream realm. They were ordered by the demon marshal to find the demon generals and demon marshals in the sleeping place, in the lower world to wake them up and complete a certain mission. As for the details, we don't know about them since we are lowly demon companions. Li Ban. Ning Fan frowned. No wonder this demon was so domineering and dared to trigger a demon tide without permission. No wonder the Rain Palace did not dare to kill this demon easily. It turns out that he is someone from the higher realm. What is the sleeping place and what is the first world? Ning Fan continued to ask. Master, the sleeping place used to be a part of the dream realm. There were also ancient demons sleeping there. Due to some reasons, the dream realm was broken and separated. Then it flowed into the lower world in the form of a broken realm. This secret realm of the broken world is actually a sleeping place. There should be demon generals and demon marshals sleeping there. The most obvious feature of the sleeping place is that the first world is raising demons and the second world is where the demon general's egg is. If there is a demon marshal, the demon marshal would be sleeping in the third world. The demon's spiritual chi in this place is so shocking. It is highly possible that there is a demon marshal. This place is very dangerous. The two ladies' eyes were filled with concern. Is it possible to pass through the first world, the second world and the third world? No. Unless someone sets up an ancient demon formation, uses ancient demon sacrificial tools, chants ancient demon scriptures and sacrifices a certain amount of demon blood, only then can the passage be opened temporarily. The demon nurturing in the first realm is to provide nourishment for the demon generals in their slumber in the second realm. The demon generals in their slumber need demon companions to protect them while the demon marshals in their slumber need the demon generals to protect them. If the passageway can be entered at will, it will be dangerous for the ancient demon clan in their slumber. Is that so? Ning Fan pondered for a while. If the first world and the second world were not connected, he would not be in danger even if there was a sleeping demon marshal here. It wasn't dangerous, but when he thought of the faint golden blood, Ning Fan's interest towards the so-called sleeping demon marshal suddenly rose. The sleeping demon commander is unable to retaliate. If I kill that demon commander, I wonder how many drops of golden blood I will obtain. A drop of golden blood contained 100 blood traces, which was equivalent to 200 units of magic power. If Ning Fan has 50 drops of golden blood, he might be able to break through to the divine transformation realm with his demon power after killing this slumbering demon. It was not easy to turn into a god with magic power, and one still had to make preparations to turn into a demon. However, with demonic power, there were fewer such concerns. If I can infiltrate the second realm or the third realm, I will be able to find a way to kill the sleeping demon marshal. Once I succeed, I will be able to break through to the divine transformation realm with my demonic energy. But, however, putting aside the fact that Ning Fan did not understand ancient demon formations or the ancient demon language, it would be rather difficult for him to enter the second world. Both of you are from the ancient demon race. Do you know about ancient demon formations and ancient demon runes? Ning Fan's eyes lit up. A little bit. But master, why do you ask this? Could it be that you want to? That's right. I want to enter the second realm and find a chance to enter the third realm to slay the demon commander. The demon commander was powerful and Ning Fan was no match for him. However, if it was in a slumber state, it might not be impossible for him to kill it. This was a great opportunity. If it wasn't for the two ladies, Ning Fan would not know the true face of the secret realm. If it wasn't for his powerful abilities, he would not be able to see through the trace of faint golden demon blood hidden in the fake desolate demon blood. Since the opportunity had come, it would be a pity to miss it. The two ladies were still doubtful. Putting aside the scarcity of materials required to set up the formation, and the harsh requirements for blood sacrifice, there might be many demon generals in the second realm who had awakened to protect the demon marshal. If Ning Fan entered the second realm with his cultivation base, which had yet to reach the divine transformation realm, he would be in great danger if he was chased by the demon generals. Don't be afraid. Unless I die, the two of you will be fine. As for me, Ning Fan will not die. Tell me, what materials are needed to set up the demon formation in the second realm? Master, we need to grind the purple demon rock into powder and inscribe the formation using spirit sense. We also need at least 10 million immortal jades to fill the formation eye. However, our status is low and the amount of ancient demon runes that we can read is limited. We might not be able to successfully activate the grand formation. Moreover, the most crucial factor to successfully activate the passage of the world is the blood of the king beast as an offering to the demon ancestor. The two girls were touched. Ning Fan's words were obviously arrogant, but because of his extraordinary strength, it was like a calming pill that could always make people feel at ease. I've gotten quite a lot of purple demon stones from Su Rushan. It should be enough. Immortal jade is not a problem as well. As for the blood essence of the king beasts, I should be able to collect some along the way to the North Region Realm Passage. As for the two of you, you're not proficient in the ancient demon characters. If you really fail, even heavens can do nothing about it. There's no need for the two of you to feel pressured. Ning Fan gently patted their beautiful hair to comfort them. If he couldn't enter the second world, then he could only give up and not force it. However, if he could, he would definitely find a way to obtain the demon commander's blood and break through to the divine transformation realm. 1 month passed. In the vast secret realm of the broken world, Ning Fan traveled all the way to the north. With his instantaneous movement technique that was comparable to a divine transformation realm expert, it was not difficult for him to travel 1 million li in a single day. Ning Fan did not conceal his qi at all, as he held the Tea Lady and Wind Lady in his arms. He even smeared the demon enticing fragrance on his body. He had traveled all the way to the north in order to reach the blank area of the northern region that was 15 million miles away. The world passage that led to the second realm. Under the temptation of the demon enticing fragrance, all the false wild beasts within a radius of hundreds of thousands of li attacked him. There were giant mountain apes that were taller than mountains and black turtles that were as large as islands. However, no matter what kind of wild beasts they were, none of them could stop Ning Fan's footsteps. After traveling for 1 month, Ning Fan had almost flown across 15 million li. Behind him, there were 7 gigantic black apes that were chasing after him crazily. Each of them was 1,000 zhang tall. Behind the gigantic apes were several hundred zhang tall green apes. Each of them had at least the qi of a nascent soul realm cultivator. He had already lost count of how many times they had chased after him. There were at least 300 false wild beast demon cores in his storage pouch. Ning Fan landed on the peak of a barren mountain and put the two ladies down. Holding the profound heavenly spirit-slaying sword in his hand, his eyes flashed with a cold light. Soul extraction. He made a grabbing motion with his hand, and the souls of mountains and rivers that were 10,000 li were sucked into his hand. With the support of 10,000 units of magic power, he swung his sword horizontally. A green thread connected the sky and tore the hollow space within 10,000 li apart. Wherever the green thread passed, the heavens would be torn apart. 7 black apes and several hundred green apes were killed with a single slash. 7 false wild beast demon cores and several hundred false nascent soul realm demon cores were obtained. 7 drops of black beast blood, several hundred drops of deep green beast blood and 7 traces of faint golden demon martial blood were also obtained. After cleaning up the battlefield, Ning Fan returned to the peak of the mountain. He felt a little exhausted. After getting rid of the bewitching fragrance on his body, Ning Fan consumed a few heart essence pills and silver blood pills to adjust his magic power and physical strength. There are many more wild beasts here compared to the map. This map was recorded by Su Rushan when he entered the secret realm. It was thousands of years ago. After thousands of years of cultivation, there should be more than a few hundred wild beasts here. I'm afraid there are more than 1,000 of them. If he could wipe out 1,000 wild beasts, not only would he obtain 1,000 drops of false wild beast blood, but he would also obtain 10 drops of demon martial blood. His demon power would probably increase by 3,000 units. In other words, even if he could not enter the second world, it would not be difficult for him to break through to the peak nascent soul realm with the help of the false wild beasts in the first world. If he succeeds in entering the second world, there were only a few million li left before he reached the northern region realm. While Ning Fan was refining the medicinal power, the 2 female demons guarded him carefully. Even though their gold core realm demon power did not make a difference whether they were guarding him or not, their intentions showed that they had gradually accepted Ning Fan as their new master. Moreover, they began to respect him from the bottom of their hearts. The Tea Lady admired Ning Fan's temperament while the Wind Lady respected Ning Fan's courage and strength. For the past month, The Wind Lady had witnessed Ning Fan single-handedly annihilating 300 wild beasts and tens of thousands of false nascent soul realm demonic beasts. This man definitely had the strength to wipe out the entire first world. The Wind Lady could not even imagine that Ning Fan had mastered the void fragmentation realm divine ability, soul extraction, before he attained the spirit-severing realm. Extracting the souls of mountains and rivers was like adding a secret technique to his body, allowing him to break through 10,000 units of magic power for a short period of time. Then he activated the incomplete profound heaven treasure and killed his enemies with a single slash. Even Demon General Li Ban, who had a spirit-severing realm cultivation base, was only this powerful, wasn't it? Moreover, compared to Li Ban's coldness and indifference, Ning Fan's treatment towards the two women was unknowingly gentle. The Wind Lady could not help but chuckle when she recalled that she had chased after Ning Fan for the All-Heaven relic. I'm really very foolish. She took out a purple jade slip and imprinted dozens of ancient demon characters in her sea of consciousness onto it. After Ning Fan exhaled a mouthful of turbid qi and recovered his essence, qi and spirit, she passed it to him. The ancient demon characters are just the most common type of demon characters. Moreover, I'm not talented and can only recognize these 31 characters. Is that so? I heard that the ancient demon characters are extremely obscure, and the large clans seem to have inherited some special characters such as the dragon language and the phoenix language. Moreover, every stroke of the ancient demon characters contains a talisman pattern. Even if you search your soul, you won't be able to find out the meaning of the characters from the ancient demon's sea of consciousness. As a member of the demon race, it would be a great crime if you leaked the ancient demon characters to the human race. Don't you regret giving me this jade slip? As long as Master doesn't betray me, I naturally won't regret it. Will Master betray me? The Wind Lady raised her head. Although her face was ruined under her purple hair, her eyes were infatuated. What do you think? Ning Fan smiled and stroked her purple hair. Then he carried the two ladies and teleported to the Northern Realm Passage. He did not say much. The evaluation of him in the external endless sea was that he was ruthless, cunning, arrogant, despicable and shameless, lustful but not cold-blooded. His embrace was not generous, but it made her feel at ease. In the end, Ning Fan did not continue to hunt the false wild beasts after traveling for several million li. The demon cores that Su Rushan needed had already exceeded his quota. Moreover, he was already very close to the realm passage. If he were to cause a huge commotion here and attract the attention of the demon generals of the second world, he might be besieged by the demon generals as soon as he sets up the formation to open the realm passage. Moreover, he did not have enough time. 1 month had passed, and there were still 4 months left. He must leave the secret realm after 4 months. The way to leave was simple. He just needed to set up a low-grade nascent realm formation, separation formation, and he would be able to leave this place. This kind of formation was widely used in the exploration of the secret realm. There were even people who specialized in selling the formation plate of the separation formation to the cultivators who were exploring the secret realm. When they encountered danger, they could just activate the formation plate if they had no time to set up a formation. He was not sure if 4 months was enough for him to rush to the third world from the second world. If the second world was a few hundred million li wide, Ning Fan might miss the chance to meet the sleeping demon marshal. Since everything was still uncertain, Ning Fan could only give it a try. 2 days later, he was still a million li away from the realm passage of the northern region. At this distance, he could already see a 7-colored barrier blocking the path between the first world and the second world. Perhaps it was because they were afraid of the 7-colored light. There were not many wild beasts that dared to stay in this place. However, at this crucial moment, Ning Fan's eyes suddenly turned cold, and he stopped in his tracks. This was because a teleportation light suddenly lit up a few hundred li in front of him. Almost immediately, Ning Fan carried the two ladies in his arms and used the sense concealment art to hide their traces. Teleportation formation plate? Each of the teleportation formation plate was engraved with a spirit-severing teleportation formation that could teleport 100,000 li. It was usually used by spirit-severing realm cultivators to escape after they were defeated in a battle. It was extremely precious. The formation plate could be used repeatedly. However, it would cost 100,000 immortal jades for every 100,000 li. Moreover, it could only be used for the second time after 2 hours. After entering the 7-colored light gate, even though the 40-peak nascent soul realm cultivators were teleported separately, most of them were tens of millions of li away from the realm passage of the northern region. This person must have spent at least tens of millions of immortal jades to travel to the realm passage of the northern region with the help of the formation plate. I'm afraid his objective is not simple. After the light of the teleportation formation disappeared completely, the person who appeared was actually the 6th elder of the demon sealing sect, Chu He. This was out of Ning Fan's expectation. What is this Chu He planning to do by rushing to the realm passage of the northern region? Could it be that the demon sealing sect is planning something in this secret realm of the broken world? Chu He held the formation plate in his hand and took a step out of the formation light. Suddenly, his eyes turned solemn and he turned around and shot out a red sea of fire at Ning Fan's direction. After seeing that the sea of fire did not burn anyone, Chu He's expression relaxed. However, there was a strange look in his eyes. I clearly sensed the aura of other cultivators, but it turned out to be an illusion. Forget it. It's most likely that there were cultivators who passed by this place, but they had already left. The mission is more important. There are still 1,000,000 miles to the world passage. I should be able to reach the world passage tonight. I wonder if the people from the second realm have arrived. It's not difficult to open the secret realm's world passage, but the demon realm's world passage is a little troublesome. The demon realm will send at least 10 demon generals here. If we neglect Lord Li Ban, it will be even more troublesome. After Chu He finished speaking, he flew for 2 hours in the sky. Then, he used up another 100,000 immortal jades to travel another 100,000 kilometers. They continued to travel like this. After Chu He walked far away, Ning Fan appeared. His eyes narrowed. As a force of the rain world, the demon sealing palace actually colluded with the demon world. Judging from their words, it seems like they are going to set up a formation to directly open the world passage here. However, there are 2 world passages. One leads to the second world, and the other leads to the demon world. The demon general of the demon realm was coming to this mystic realm. Among them, there was a name that Ning Fan was extremely familiar with: Li Ban. Carp Ban. Interesting. Let's follow and see. Ning Fan hugged the 2 girls and quietly followed behind Chu He. Chapter 240. One day later, under the rainbow light realm, Chu He halted his footsteps and landed on the ground. He did not sense that Ning Fan was following him. Not only did he use the sense-concealing art, but he also consumed a high-grade 4th revolution pill together with the 2 ladies. In this way, even if a spirit-severing realm demon general were to descend, he would not be able to sense Ning Fan. For the sake of safety, Ning Fan was still 10,000 li away from Chu He. With Ning Fan's spirit sense, which was only at the half-step divine transformation realm, he could only detect up to 3,000 li. However, he had secretly left a trace of hidden fragrance on Chu He's body. With that, it was enough for him to track Chu He. In order to keep a close watch on Chu He, Ning Fan consumed a mid-grade 4th revolution pill, the sense-increasing pill. Within a few hours, his spirit sense became thinner and thinner. However, it gradually spread to a range of 10,000 li, which was comparable to the range of a spirit-severing expert. However, the essence of his spirit sense remained unchanged. These were all pills that Su Rushan had given him, but at this moment, they came in handy. Chu He was very careful. After confirming that there was no one around, he began to grind the purple demon stone into powder, determine the eye of the formation, and inscribe the formation runes. A day later, the ancient demon array was completed. Although it was a transcendent array, it had a faint connection with the rainbow light realm. This formation was the key to opening the world passage to the second realm. With Chu He's cultivation, he was able to set it up. Once the formation was complete, Chu He took out dozens of ancient demon sacrificial artifacts. After arranging them, He only needed to chant the ancient demon scriptures and sacrifice the king beast to open the path to the second world. However, Chu didn't immediately sacrifice the king beast. Instead, he left the formation and took out a 6-legged bronze beast demon statue. He placed it in another location. Then, he took out 8 dried corpses and placed them around the demon statue. Every corpse was a true desolate beast when they were alive. Chu took out 8 merfolk king beasts one after another. After killing them, he smeared their blood on the dried corpses. Then, he once again infused the powder of the violet demonic stone into his spiritual sense to carve arrays. When the formation was complete, he recited ancient scriptures and bowed to the demon statue. With every kowtow, the demon statue would tremble. After 10 kowtows, the first corpse crumbled, and its blood energy was absorbed by the demon statue. After 100 kowtows, the second and third corpses were crushed. After 1,000 kowtows, the fourth, fifth, and sixth corpses were crushed. After 10,000 kowtows, the seventh and eighth corpses shattered. After absorbing the blood energy of the 8 corpses, the demon statue emitted a trace of ancient and mysterious light. A crack appeared on the top of its head, extending all the way to its feet. It was as if he was on the verge of collapse, but his vitality was insufficient. 10,000 li away, Ning Fan's eyes narrowed. This demon statue looked ordinary, but there was a trace of white mist rising from it because it was kowtowing. If Ning Fan was not mistaken, that white mist should be the power that only a true immortal would possess, the power of Joss flames. This demon statue contained the incense that the demon sealing hall had collected for thousands of years. With this power, he would open the path to the demon realm. The royal blood isn't enough to ignite the incense. How troublesome. It's all that Zhou Ming's fault for killing so many merfolk king beasts. Chu had brought 12 beast kings with him. 8 of them had been killed and 4 were left. The remaining 4 were to be used to open the world passage in the future. But now, even the demon general was a problem. If the demon general could not come, what was the point of opening the second world passage? Forget it. Let's focus on the demon generals first. We'll talk about the rest later. He killed the beast kings again and sacrificed their blood to the demon statue. After he killed the 10th beast king, the demon statue completely shattered. A ray of white mist that was dyed dark red pierced through the void, forming a dark red misty door. The moment the misty door was formed, it was already connected to the demon realm. Through the misty door, one could observe the scenery of the demon realm. Meanwhile, 10 divine transformation realm chi and hundreds of nascent soul realm chi were approaching from the other side of the misty door. Ning Fan was very familiar with one of them, Li Ban. Interesting. Li Ban really went to the demon realm after leaving Jin country. Now he even brought reinforcements from the demon realm and teleported them to this place. This demon and I have an ill-fated relationship. I wonder if this demon will die in the void if I destroy the portal when he transmigrates to the demon realm. You destroyed my teleportation formation that day. Today, I will destroy your portal. Ning Fan's eyes turned cold. He had never forgotten the grudge from that day. If it wasn't because he was lucky enough to escape, he would certainly die in Li Ban's hands. The reason why he allowed Chu to set up the formation and did not kill him was because he was waiting for this opportunity. He did not hide his words from the 2 girls in his arms. However, both of them had complicated expressions in their eyes when they heard that Ning Fan wanted Li Ban. In the end, they did not dissuade him. If Li Ban knew that the 2 girls had lost their virginity to Ning Fan, he might kill them mercilessly. If they had to choose between Ning Fan and Li Ban as their master, they would rather choose Ning Fan. The chi was getting closer and closer. When a divine transformation realm demon general walked out of the portal with half of his body, Ning Fan's sword sense secretly pierced through the joss flames of the portal and broke it. As soon as the crack was broken, the portal immediately collapsed and the void closed up. The demon general who walked out of the portal was directly torn into pieces by the power of the realm. Ah! Countless screams came from the closed portal at the same time. Then nothing could be heard anymore. However, Ning Fan frowned. Li Ban's voice was not among the screams. It seemed like the divine transformation realm demon general, who was torn apart by the power of the realm, was not Li Ban. Moreover, Li Ban did not die in the void. Chu He was dumbfounded. He had spent a lot of effort to set up the formation and connect the passage to invite the divine transformation realm from the demon world. However, the result was the collapse of the portal, and the fate of the demon general was unknown. Why did the portal collapse? Could it be that I, Chu He, was reluctant to sacrifice the blood of the Beast Kings? Was it because the amount of Beast Kings' blood was not enough? If I killed 12 Beast Kings and didn't spare the other 2, perhaps the portal wouldn't have collapsed. Is it my fault? It's over. If I fail the mission, Lord Demon Venerable will definitely not let me go. Chu He's eyes were filled with fear. However, the void in front of him suddenly collapsed. 9 demons and 1 soul walked out. 10 figures were filled with anger, especially the Divine Transformation Realm Demon General. He was the only late Divine Transformation Realm existence among the 10 demons. However, before he could awaken the Demon Marshal, his demon body was destroyed because of the collapse of the portal. If it wasn't for his powerful demon soul, he would have most likely died in the endless void. You are the person sent by the Demon Sealing Palace to set up the formation. What formation did you set up? How could the portal collapse? You deserve to die. The demon soul had the appearance of a silver-robed white-haired young man. His expression was cold and his eyes were bloodshot because of his anger. The big hand tore Chu He's body and nascent soul apart. However, out of the white-haired young man's expectation, after Chu He's nascent soul was destroyed, it was rebuilt by a strange force. This junior seems to know the fate art. The white-haired young man sneered. He took Chu He's trembling nascent soul into his hand and wanted to swallow it to vent his anger. No matter how many lives you have, you will definitely die if you are swallowed. Wait. General Wang, please calm down. If we kill this person, someone will help us send a message to the Demon Sealing Palace. An early Divine Transformation Realm Demon General in purple clothes tried to persuade him. Alright. I'll spare his nascent soul for now. Tell me, why did the portal collapse? The white-haired young man said sternly. It's too big. Maybe it's because the Beast King's blood is not enough. Chu He's little nascent soul was really scared to death in the white-haired young man's hand. Although this person's physical body was destroyed and his cultivation base was greatly damaged, he was originally a late deity transformation cultivator. Even though he had lost his physical body and only his demon soul remained, he still had the battle prowess of a mid-deity transformation cultivator. Mid-stage soul formation cultivators were considered top experts even in the inner sea. Chu He couldn't afford to offend them. Not to mention, this person was a demon general from the demon spirit land, and someone from the sky demon realm. How could he, a mere nascent soul cultivator from the lower realm, dare to offend him? Chu He naturally did not expect that the collapse of the realm gate was not due to the lack of King Beast's blood but Ning Fan's tricks. With that, hundreds of nascent soul realm demon companions of the 10 demon generals died in the void. With this collapse, the late-stage soul formation demon general's physical body was destroyed, not to mention completing the mission and obtaining the reward. Even if the white-haired youth didn't kill him, he would still be punished by the demon when he returned to the demon sealing hall. Why am I so unlucky? Yes, it's all because of Zhou Ming. If it weren't for him killing Beast Kings, I wouldn't have been so reluctant to sacrifice a few royal mermaids. Zhou Ming, if I, Chu He, do not die, I will definitely kill you to vent my anger. I lost an innocent life, but I still have 6 lives. With 6 lives, I must kill that Zhou Ming even if I have to risk it all. Chu He did not expect that this time. He really did not wrongly accuse Ning Fan. Coincidentally, the spearhead was pointed at the right person. However, the pitiful Chu He immediately triggered the white-haired youth's anger when he said insufficient King Beast blood. He clenched his fist and crushed Chu He's nascent soul again. The reconstructed nascent soul still had 5 lives. You said that the collapse of the realm gate was due to insufficient King Beast blood? When he clenched his fist again, Chu He cried out in pain. He still had 4 lives. King Beast. Haha. For the blood of a mere nascent soul realm beast king, Wang Zhao's demon body was destroyed. This joke isn't funny at all. Bang. The white-haired youth ruthlessly crushed Chu He's nascent soul again. Then he threw Chu-He's nascent soul to the ground like a pile of mud and stomped on it. Bang. He still had 2 lives left. Boom. The last stomp caused the mountains and rivers to collapse. Chu-He only had 1 life left. The white-haired youth sneered. It seems like you can't die, right? When you go back, tell your master to prepare a late spirit-severing realm demon corpse for me to melt and devour, to reconstruct my body. Quickly set up the passage to the second world. If there is any mistake, I will take your life. The white-haired youth continued to trample on Chu-He. The other 9 demon generals, including the red-haired red-scaled Li Ban, did not dare to stop him. As long as the white-haired youth did not kill Chu-He and did not interfere with the mission, no one was willing to offend Wang Xiao for an irrelevant junior. Even Li Ban did not dare to do so, because Li Ban was only an early spirit-severing realm demon general. Among the 10 demon generals, 3 were mid-spirit-severing realm demon generals, and 1 was late spirit-severing realm demon general, who was the injured Wang Xiao. Interesting. I didn't kill Li Ban, but I managed to kill the strongest demon among the 10 demon generals, Wang Xiao. With my current strength, I have 80% chance of winning against Li Ban and 20% chance of a draw. I have no chance of winning against the 3 mid-spirit-severing realm demon generals, but I have 70% chance of escaping. If I fight against Wang Xiao, who only has his demon soul left, I still have 10% chance of escaping. If he is not injured, I will not be his opponent. A late spirit-severing realm demon general, and he seems to have the immemorial demon bloodline. I can even sense a trace of 8th grade demon intent from him. If he is at his peak, he might be able to fight against the 7 weakest demon generals in the internal sea. Chu-He's tiny nascent soul revealed an aggrieved expression. He only had 1 life left now. No matter how much he hated Ning Fan, he would not dare to risk his life to find trouble with Ning Fan. Chu-He, the 7 lives, was supposed to be meritorious in welcoming the demon generals. With this meritorious service, it was highly possible that he would be granted the path of spirit-severing realm by the demon venerables. However, because of a single mistake, he lost 6 of his 7 lives. I'm really unlucky. He cursed inwardly. Then he took out the last 2 merman king beasts and sacrificed them to the formation. However, 2 mermen were certainly not enough to open the passage. Haha. 2 king beasts trying to open the passage. No wonder the gate collapsed. Is this how you opened the gate to welcome me? The white-haired young man was so angry that he burst into laughter. He wished he could kill Chu-He on the spot. It was common sense to prepare at least 18 king beasts to open the passage. Did the demon sealing sect not have such common sense? This is troublesome. Forget it. There should be quite a number of false wild beasts in the first world. I should hunt some of them before the world collapses. There should be some beast kings among them. General Wang, please wait. There's no need to waste so much time. Li Ban has a few king beasts with him. His blood can be used. The red-haired Li Ban sneered. He patted his storage pouch and took out 17 illusory demon infants. These demon infants were his companions this time. However, most of them were buried in the void. The 17 of them did not die, not because of Li Ban's kindness. It was because these 17 demon companions were king beasts. Generally, these seem to be your demon companions. Isn't it inappropriate to sacrifice them? The purple-clothed demon general tried to persuade him. Inappropriate? What's inappropriate about it? Everything that belongs to the demon companions belongs to us demon generals. Why can't we kill them and sacrifice them to the formation? Li Ban's fingers turned into claws. With one swipe, the 17 demon infants were crushed and died. Li Ban waved his sleeves and sprinkled the 17 demon infants' blood on the formation. Immediately, the formation light lit up with an ancient demonic blood light. Li Ban stared coldly at Chu-He's remnant demon infants and said sternly, "This time, if anything happens to the passage, you will die." "No, I don't dare. There are 19 demon beast king blood. It's enough. It's enough." Chu-He was terrified. He activated the formation light and chanted the ancient demon scripture. A path slowly appeared above the 7-colored world of light. "This time, all of you will walk in front. I will walk behind you." the white-haired young man said in a deep voice. It seemed like he was traumatized by the passage. Understood. The other demon generals naturally did not dare to disobey Wang Zhao's order. The 10 of them entered the light door one after another. This time, it was really not easy for Ning Fan to break the passage of 19 demon beasts' blood. He could not trick them. Moreover, even if he could trick them, this place was not the void and the passage was broken. The demon generals would be fine. At the moment when the demon generals passed through the passage, a flattering voice was heard from the other end of the passage. I'm Liu Bei. He. Greetings to the demon generals. As for Chu He heaved a sigh of relief. This time, the passage did not collapse. However, he did not know how he was going to explain this to the venerated demon when he returns. Moreover, there were still some matters that he needed to discuss with the people who welcomed him in the second world. Why am I so unlucky? Chu He wanted to cry, but had no tears. 10,000 li away, Ning Fan's eyes were filled with hesitation. With Chu He opening the passage, it saved him a lot of trouble, and he did not need to worry about the female demons failing to set up the formation. This entrance could still be open for a few days. After Li Ban and the others left, Ning Fan could follow them and sneak into the second world. However, with the involvement of 10 demon generals and 4 of them being stronger than him, the danger of the second world had undoubtedly increased. To enter or not to enter? While he was hesitating, the 2 women in his arms were feeling bitter. Li Ban's merciless act of killing his companion made the last bit of guilt they felt for betraying him dissipate. Li Ban is not as good as my master. Their expressions gradually became resolute. Ning Fan had more than 1,000 human cauldrons. However, these women were living peacefully in the cauldron ring. Even if Ning Fan encountered danger, he would never let these women help him. Not to mention Li Ban and the others who used their subordinates' lives to pave the way for their future. Ning Fan might be cruel to his enemies, but he treated his own people very well. At least as long as they became Ning Fan's human cauldrons, the Wind Lady and the Tea Lady would not have to worry about Ning Fan torturing and killing them for fun one day. What's wrong? Why do you look so serious? Are you having mixed feelings after meeting your former master? Ning Fan teased. We only have one master, the 2 women said firmly. Oh. Ning Fan smiled faintly. The 2 women seemed to have become more loyal to him after seeing Li Ban's true colors. It would be best if that was the case. The 2 of you enter the cauldron ring first. The second world is very dangerous. You don't need to get involved. Thank you for your kindness, master. The 2 women bowed. With their gold core realm cultivation base, they would not be able to protect themselves in the second world. It would be safer for them to enter the cauldron ring. Ning Fan kept the 2 women and slowly descended to the ground alone. His eyes were filled with seriousness. In the past few days, he had been waiting for the demon generals to leave. However, a huge change happened in the secret realm of the broken world. The teleportation of the 10 spirit severing realm experts caused the originally unstable secret realm to collapse. Of course, it was only the first world that collapsed. From the west to the east, the void was shattered. Countless old monsters activated the separation formation plate and left the secret realm in a panic. There were also a few old monsters who perished in the void forever. Outside the secret realm, Su Russian's expression changed drastically. The secret realm is collapsing. As for Su Qiuling, her face was pale and her eyes were filled with anxiety. On the slaughter tablet, the names of the old monsters turned from black to gray. Dead. Young Master Zhou. What happened to you? Chapter 241. 1 month. In just 1 month, Zhou Ming's name seemed to have become a legend. On the slaughter tablet, Zhou Ming's name, which was ranked first, was now as red as blood. Red name. Of course, he had killed more than 100 beasts. However, Ning Fan's red name was much redder than Zhu Yan, who was ranked first in the past. Su Russian naturally felt relieved. With such a red name, Ning Fan had probably killed more than 150 wild beasts, or even more than 200 wild beasts. After all, Zhu Yan had killed 274 false wild beasts in the past. Ning Fan's name was even redder than Zhu Yan's. Demon Core. That's enough. Venerated giant will definitely not make things difficult for me now. Besides, I have also helped venerated giant find the person he has been waiting for. My contribution is not small. At the same time, Su Rushan was also shocked. In just 1 month he had killed more than 274 wild beasts. With Ningfan's combat strength, which was comparable to a divine transformation realm expert, he probably used all of his means to kill non-stop. This seriousness was naturally because Ningfan kept his promise to Su Rushan. He would definitely fulfill his promise. He drew his sword without saying a word and killed people with a promise of a meal. Su Rushan was not the only one who was shocked. The old monsters who were paying attention to the secret realm of the broken world were also shocked. In just 1 month, his name became red. Cultivators who were below mid-nascent soul realm could not even open their eyes when their eyes fell on Ningfan's name. This person was arrogant, but he had the ability to be arrogant. In that case, it was not arrogance but confidence. The shock lasted for an entire month. When the news of Zhou Minghong's name spread, countless old monsters of the outer endless sea and the inner endless sea swarmed to the outer endless sea to have a look at the person who defeated soul formation realm cultivators and became the number 1. However, this shock was replaced by another shock at the end of the month. The secret realm of the broken world had collapsed. Moreover, it was not just a small area but a complete collapse. Impossible. Even a true divine transformation realm expert could only destroy a region if he entered alone, but not the entire realm. Such a large-scale collapse would only happen if a large number of divine transformation realm experts entered. But how is this possible? We were guarding outside the secret realm, and none of the divine transformation realm cultivators entered it. Su Rushan's expression changed drastically. The collapse of the secret realm of the broken world was completely out of his expectation. The collapse of the secret realm was not a small mistake. As the master of the secret realm, he would most likely be blamed by the giant demon clan. But that was not all. Now that the secret realm has collapsed, I wonder if Ningfan can safely leave the secret realm and bring the demon core out. Su Rushan was indeed concerned about the monster cores. It had only been a month, and the other great cultivators were practically out of the question. For 39 people to be able to gather 20 monster cores was already a rare occurrence. If it weren't for the 200 beast cores, the venerable giant's daughter would be critically ill, and he, Su Rushan, would have to bear the responsibility. Compared to the demon core, Su Rushan was more concerned about Ningfan's safety. Ever since they first met, Ningfan's had shocked Su Rushan time and time again. From flattering him to treating him as an equal, to respecting him, to looking up to him now. This person's personality was similar to Su Rushan's. What was more precious was that this person seemed to have feelings for his daughter. How can my son-in-law die in the broken world mystic domain? But why hasn't this kid come out yet? Why is he still in the mystic realm? The secret realm of the broken world collapsed when the 10 semi-god realm cultivators entered. From west to east, in less than 2 hours, millions of miles of land had collapsed. The grand cultivators and old monsters managed to escape the secret realm with the help of the separation array disk. However, they were all drenched in cold sweat and their hearts were pounding. With every breath, thousands of miles of land would collapse. The collapsed void made the old monsters who had yet to attain the divine transformation realm feel their scalp go numb. The void. Even ordinary divine transformation realm cultivators would definitely die if they were sucked into the void without any powerful means. 10 great demon generals and hundreds of nascent soul realm cultivators were sucked into the void at the same time. If it wasn't because there were 4 great experts among the 10 divine transformation realm cultivators, and the 10 of them worked together, Li Ban, who was an early divine transformation realm cultivator, would probably be buried in the void. Even divine transformation realm cultivators were in danger. It was normal for grand cultivators to die in the void. Other than Ningfan and Chu He, only 25 of the remaining 38 old monsters survived. The names of 13 of them turned gray and were buried in the void. 1 day later, the secret realm of the broken world completely collapsed. Ningfan and Chu He had yet to leave the secret realm. Su Qiuling's heart was filled with anxiety. Even if she had blind faith in Ningfan, She was still worried when Ning Fan did not show up. Young Master Zhou, young Master Zhou. For no reason, she felt like crying. When she saw Chu He's name turned gray, her mind went blank. I'm afraid Ning Fan is the only one left in the secret realm. The secret realm of the broken world had completely collapsed. All that was left was the void. Ning Fan was not dead, but he had yet to leave the secret realm. He was probably struggling in the void. Young Master Zhou, what happened to you? I'm afraid he's in danger. Even a mid-divine transformation realm cultivator wouldn't be able to withstand the power of the void without any powerful treasures. Perhaps he's hiding inside a world treasure? Dong Su sighed. Only void refinement realm cultivators could travel through the void. Even divine transformation realm cultivators were not strong enough to do so, let alone Ning Fan, who was only at the late nascent soul realm. No. He'll be fine. Su Qiuling gritted her teeth and raised her head stubbornly. Just as she was feeling anxious and restless, the seven-colored door of light flashed. A storage pouch and a jade slip floated out of the secret realm. The moment the jade slip left the secret realm, it crumbled and turned into a chuckle. Fellow Taoist Su, I'm sorry. The secret realm has collapsed. However, the 200 demon cores are still here. You don't have to worry too much. I might come out a little later. However, I don't need to limit myself to the promise of 5 months anymore. Thus, you don't have to wait for me here. I'll pay you a visit after I leave the secret realm. With Miss Su's personality, you must be worried about me right now. However, don't worry. My name will only become redder and redder. It will never turn gray. So you don't have to worry. Su Rushan held the storage pouch and stared at the 200 demon cores that had yet to dry up. His mind was filled with shock. The secret realm had completely collapsed, but Ning Fan was still able to teleport out of the jade slip safely. Could it be that he can stand in the void and not die? The same thought and shock rose in the hearts of the old monsters. However, none of them said it out loud. What kind of person could stand in the void and not die? Void refinement realm old monsters could travel through the void. However, it was still difficult for them to do so. Only void fragmentation realm old monsters could survive in the void. Only void fragmentation realm old monsters could break the void and seek for the true immortal realm. How did he do it? Judging from his tone, he didn't hide in a treasure. If he isn't cultivating in the void, he must have gone to the empty area outside the secret realm. No matter which one it is, it's unbelievable because I can't do either of them. Dong Su's eyes were filled with life. He sat cross-legged on the ground without any intention of leaving. Ling Er, you probably won't leave until your brother Zhou comes out, right? I want to wait for young Master Zhou. No matter how long it takes. If he says he's fine, he'll definitely be fine. Alright. I'll wait with you. The secret realm had collapsed. Within a day, the mountains and rivers within 70 million li collapsed. Countless false wild beasts were buried in the void. Chuhi took a step forward and passed through the realm passage. He entered the second world. That was why he didn't die. He would wait for the guide of the second world to return after receiving the demon generals. At that time, he would need to hand over the task to that person. Looking at the void on the other side of the realm passage, Chuhi felt his scalp go numb. However, his heart was filled with a twisted sense of satisfaction. I wonder if that Zhou Ming died in the void. It's good if he's dead. It's good if he's dead. Unfortunately, Chuhi's wish couldn't come true. Ning Fan stood in the void with a small golden bell in his hand. A faint golden halo rose from the golden bell and enveloped him. The Eastern Ocean Bell. With this bell, I won't be afraid of the power of the void. I won't have any problems even if I travel through the void. The collapse of the secret realm seems to be a good thing for me. At least, I don't need to spend so much effort to travel across 70 million li of mountains and rivers to kill all the false wild beasts. Their demon cores and demon blood will come to me on their own. The wind from the void blew over like a black sharp blade. Once it hits the target, even a Jade Life Realm cultivator would die a violent death. However, when this black wind touched the golden light of the Eastern Ocean Bell, it trembled slightly and immediately parted. The broken corpses of the false wild beasts were blown over by the black wind. There were also a lot of black blood and demon cores that floated in the void. The collapse came from the west to the east. Naturally, the wind was blowing towards Ningfan. When Ningfan rang the Eastern Ocean bell in the void, a black void vortex immediately rose and sucked in countless demon cores, demon blood, and even the storage pouches of peak nascent soul realm cultivators. Drops of demon blood were kept by Ningfan. Traces of faint golden blood were extracted by him. Adding the 300+ wild beasts that he had killed previously, he had a total of 1284 false wild demon cores, 1284 drops of false wild demon blood, and 1284 faint golden blood traces. There were a total of 13 drops of Demon Marshal's blood essence in his storage pouch. After refining all of the demon blood, it would be 5,000 units of demon power. He had almost completed half of the journey to the divine transformation realm with demon veins. The passage to the second world has been opened. After entering this world, I'll first find a place and refine the demon blood to attain 5,000 units of demon power. After that, I'll think of a way to kill the demon marshal and seize his blood. Attaining the divine transformation realm won't be difficult. His eyes flashed. Step by step, he stepped on the void and arrived at the 7-colored realm path of the second world. He took a step and entered. On the other side of the realm path, the nascent soul realm cultivator of the demon race named Liu Bei was whispering to Chu He. Most of their conversation was about how to build a good relationship with the demon sealing palace in the endless sea of the rain world with the help of the great operation in the demon world this time. Aya, how did fellow Taoist Chu end up like this? I feel sad for you, Liu Bei said with a pretentious expression. Don't mention it. It's all Zhou Ming's fault. However, that bastard has most likely been buried in the void and died without a complete corpse. Only then can the hatred in my heart be appeased. It's good that he died. It's good that he died. Liu Bei did not care who Zhou Ming was at all, and whether he was dead or alive. However, while the two of them were talking, a faint red ferocious qi suddenly engulfed the two of them. Under the ferocious qi, be it Liu Bei who was an early nascent soul realm cultivator or Chu He who was a broken nascent soul realm cultivator, both of them sucked in a cold breath at the same time. Especially Chu He. When he saw a young man in white robes and a black cloak calmly stepping on the pitch-black void and entering the realm path, his heart suddenly trembled. Impossible. Impossible. You're not a void refinement realm expert, nor a void fragmentation realm expert. How can you travel in the void? Impossible. Just now, the two of you said that I died a good death? Ningfan's eyes flashed with cold light. Both of his hands reached out and grabbed Chu He's remnant shadow and Liu Bei's head respectively. The power of this grab was the power of his jade life. The two of them could not break free at all. Soul search. When Ningfan's indifferent voice resounded in their ears, their sea of consciousness immediately collapsed, and they became idiots. Chu He's memories were the same as Ying He's. Zigu had planted a purple seal on him. However, with Ningfan's current strength he could easily break the seal. Naturally, he had seen through all the secrets of the Demon Sealing Palace. Now he was even more clear about the mission of the Demon Sealing Palace to cooperate with the demon generals of the demon world. This place of slumber and the slumbering demon commander is called Lu Wu, huh? Ningfan swallowed Chu He's remnant nascent soul and chewed it. Then he smashed Liu Bei's physical body with his palm and swallowed his nascent soul. This demon's name is Liu Bei. He's a winged demon of the Luoyun tribe, the 7th tribe of the Lu clan. This person is cruel and despicable. He has many enemies in the Luoyun tribe, but he doesn't have any friends. Moreover, his life soul token was expelled from the tribe because he violated the tribe's rules. Interesting. In this case, no one will know if I kill this person. If I disguise myself as this person and sneak into the Luoyun tribe, no one will know. A winged demon? An early nascent soul realm cultivator. It's almost the same as my current demon power cultivation base. Ningfan swallowed Liu Bei's nascent soul and took a step forward. As he took a step forward, he displayed the spirit concealing art. His appearance immediately changed and he became exactly the same as Liu Bei. From now on, my identity in the second world is Liu Bei of the Luoyun tribe. Now that the secret realm has collapsed, I have enough demon cores to enter the second world. I don't need to leave the secret realm within 5 months. I can send the demon cores to Su Rushan in advance to make him feel at ease. In this way, it won't be a problem even if I have to stay in the secret realm for tens of years. As for Su Qiuling, I'll leave a jade slip on her so that she won't be worried. Chapter 242. The Land of Slumber, the Second World. The blood moon hung high in the sky. A white-robed winged demon flew in the night wind. He hid the stars on his brow and dispersed the evil red glow. At this moment, his identity was not Ning Fan but Liu Bei. He was one of the 700 demon soldiers of the Cloud-Sifting tribe, the 7th tribe of the Liu clan. Demon soldiers must be nascent soul cultivators. A demon general must be a soul formation cultivator. Liu Yun was an inconspicuous member of the 700 monster spirits. From Liu Yun's memories, Ning Fan also learned that the strongest cultivator in the Luo Yun tribe was a titled demon general, Cloud General Liu Daochen. People called him Teacher Liu, and he was a mid-divine transformation realm demon. Under this person, there were a total of 7 early deity transformation realm demons that belonged to the Luo Yun tribe. 8 demon generals, 700 demon soldiers, and several 100,000 gold core realm demons. This was the strength of the Luo Yun tribe. However, this strength was only ranked 7th among the 9 tribes. Ning Fan's eyes looked slightly serious. The number of demon generals in the second realm was far more than he had imagined. The first division, the Purifying Flame division, had 19 early-stage soul formation cultivators, 3 mid-stage soul formation cultivators, 1 late-stage titled demon general, and 8,000 nascent soul realm demon soldiers. In this way, in the second realm, there were more than 100 demon generals in total. Demon soldiers, nearly 30,000. Demon Marshal Lu Wu. This man is in deep slumber alone but has 100 soul formation realm experts guarding him. This place is vast and filled with experts. It is comparable to the inner sea of the Endless Sea. The first world, which had a circumference of 70 million li, was just 1% of the second world's size. With Ning Fan's full speed, it would take him at least a few years to travel across the second world. Time was not a problem. Due to the collapse of the first world, Ning Fan could even stay in this place for tens of years. According to his memories, the location of the third world was only known to the 9 titled monster spirits of the 9 tribes. It seemed that the 9 of them each controlled 1/9 of the realm passage of the third realm. Liu Yun didn't know the specifics. If it weren't for the fact that Liu Yun's ancestor had once been a peak nascent soul expert and had rendered great service to the Cloudsoar tribe, given Liu Yun's lowly character, he wouldn't have been given the surname Liu. In this world, Liu was a symbol of nobility, a descendant of demon commander Lu Wu. However, this Liu Bei was considered a traitor in the Luo Yun tribe. He secretly welcomed the 10 demon generals into the realm, but brought them to meet up with the experts of the first division. If this matter was exposed, it was likely that there would be many beasts in the Luo Yun tribe who would want to kill Liu Bei to vent their anger. He was afraid that Ning Fan would have to take the blame for this. According to Liu Yun's memory, the region they had entered the realm passage seemed to be the border between the Luo Yun tribe and the Lai Tu tribe. It was called Meng Yuan. The 8th tribe, Lai Tu tribe, and the 7th tribe, Luo Yun tribe, had been fighting against each other. Under the boundless night sky, Ning Fan flapped his wings and flew. The small demons he met along the way were all earth-breaking small demons. As soon as they sensed the early nascent soul realm demonic power in Ning Fan's body, all of them fled in a hurry, not daring to peek at him. There were lesser demons in the second realm. There was no time limit for staying in the second realm. In the second world, he could use the female corpse and the stone warrior. To Ning Fan, the second realm was a great opportunity that gave him the hope of attaining the divine transformation realm with his demonic power. If I don't have a reasonable explanation for this Liu Yun going to the border without permission, colluding with the Pure Fire tribe and leaving the tribe without permission, this matter will still be troublesome. If the tribe investigates this matter, I will risk exposing my identity. If I want to find the passage to the third realm, I have to hide in the Luo Yun tribe for the time being. Coincidentally, I am at the border. I will kill some enemy demons and bring their heads back to the tribe. In this way, even if someone investigates Liu Bei for leaving without permission, they won't be able to say anything. Ning Fan's eyes turned resolute. He patted his storage pouch and took out a short dagger axe made of beast teeth. It was a peak high-grade demon treasure. This item was the demon treasure that Liu Bei used when he was still alive. Despite being an early nascent soul realm cultivator, he did not even have a supreme-grade demon treasure. It was enough to show how low his combat power was. Among the 700 demon soldiers, he was also one of the weakest. If Liu Bei wielded this dagger axe, he might not even be able to kill a peak gold core realm cultivator with a single strike. However, under Ning Fan's control, this dagger axe turned into rays of green shadows. 1 turned into 10, 10 turned into 100, and 100 turned into 1,000. When the thousands of shadows dispersed, they took away the lives of tens of gold core realm and harmonious spirit realm small demons within 1,000 li. 71 heads. In this case, it does match Liu Yun's combat power. If he kills too many people, it will arouse suspicion. Ning Fan drew out his demon power and formed a thread to tie up the 71 demon corpses. Then he went to the border of the Luoyun tribe, which was located at the border of the grassland. At this place, a demon soldier and 100 small demons were guarding the place. As soon as he saw a nascent soul realm demon flying towards him, the mid-nascent soul realm demon soldier immediately shouted loudly. His demon flames lit up the night sky. Who are you? Liu Bei of the Luoyun tribe. What's the password tonight? Xiaosun. Xiaosun was a common demon herb in the Luoyun tribe. However, tonight, it was the password of the Luoyun tribe's demon army. Since Liu Bei was able to leave the border, he naturally knew about the password. After searching his soul, Ning Fan also found out about it. Seeing that the other party had answered the password, the nascent soul realm demon soldier immediately heaved a sigh of relief. However, when he heard that the other party was Liu Bei, a hint of disdain flashed across his eyes. Liu Bei? That winged demon who was bestowed the surname Liu by his ancestors? A cripple who could not even complete the second awakening of his demon blood? If it wasn't because his ancestors had made great contributions and were bestowed with 10 traces of the demon marshal's blood, this Liu Bei might not even succeed in forming his demon nascent soul. A hint of suspicion flashed across the nascent soul realm demon soldier's eyes. Liu Bei's combat power was low. However, he was cruel and selfish by nature. Since he left the border without permission in the middle of the night, it was certainly not to kill the enemy. Then, did he collude with the Lai Tu tribe which was at the top of the boundless plains? The nascent soul realm demon soldier's name was Yao Yuan. This person was very cunning. Thus, he was highly regarded and appointed as one of the demon soldiers in the front department. After pondering for a while, he was almost certain that Liu Bei must have colluded with the enemy. However, he was wrong about one thing. Liu Bei did not collude with the Lai Tu tribe. The Lai Tu tribe was only ranked 8th. It was even weaker than the Luoyun tribe. No matter how useless Liu Bei was, he still knew that he had to walk towards a higher place. If he wanted to collude with the enemy, he would definitely collude with the strongest demon tribe, the Pure Fire tribe. Although his judgment was slightly wrong, Yao Yuan was able to see through Liu Bei's betrayal. His foresight was not weak at all. He secretly made an order and slit his neck. When this scene fell into the eyes of all the small demons, they all felt a chill down their spines. Kill. Once Liu Bei got close, kill him. However, when the traveling light got closer, the demon flames covered the blood moon in the sky. A white-robed young man with an indifferent expression could be seen holding a demon rope in his hand. On the other end of the demon rope, there were 71 lines of demon force that were binding 71 demon corpses. Hiss. All the small demons felt a chill down their spines. This scene was too horrifying. As for Yao Yuan, he immediately made an order to stop the killing. His expression changed greatly. Could it be that this Liu Bei did not collude with the enemy, but killed the enemy in the middle of the night? 71 people infiltrated the enemy's territory and killed 71 people in one night. This merit is not small. Is this really Liu Bei's doing? With Yao Yuan's eyesight, He could naturally see the difference in strength among the 71 demon corpses. The weakest among them was just an early harmonious spirit realm small demon with a half-human and half-beast body. Killing harmonious spirit realm small demons, with his nascent soul realm cultivation base, was in line with Liu Bei's despicable character. However, the strongest among them were a few half-step nascent soul realm experts. To kill such experts in the enemy's territory, it was impossible to use a large-scale demonic technique. Otherwise, it would cause a huge commotion and cause the enemy demons to besiege him. Yao Yuan knew that if he was Liu Bei, he would not be able to kill half-step nascent soul realm experts in the enemy's territory without being noticed. However, Liu Bei did it. So it's Brother Liu. Forgive me for not recognizing you. It seems like Brother Liu has killed quite a lot of demon enemies. Yao Yuan is ashamed. Greetings, Brother Yao. Ning Fan landed on the ground and calmly cupped his fists. The 71 demon corpses behind him were floating in the air, making him look extremely strange. When he took a step forward, the small demons could not help but take a step back. Their reverence towards him was obvious. Hiss! Yao Yuan was once again shocked by Ning Fan's calmness. Rumor had it that this Liu Bei was extremely fond of fame. Rumor had it that he had killed a few gold core realm cultivators by luck. Then, he spread the news without restraint as if he was afraid that the world would not know about it. Today, Yao Yuan had witnessed it with his own eyes. Liu Bei was a person who remained calm in the face of danger, and was not arrogant when claiming credit. His calm and indifferent eyes made Yao Yuan realize that this Liu Bei had an extraordinary temperament. He must not be underestimated. Sure enough, rumors cannot be trusted. How can a demon who could inherit the surname Liu be ordinary? This Liu Bei must have offended someone. That's why his reputation is so unbearable. This person must be a hero. Even if his demon power is only at the early nascent soul realm, which is not as good as mine, I'm afraid I won't be his opponent if we fight. This person is extraordinary. Yao Yuan's attitude towards Ning Fan became even more polite. Moreover, deep in his heart, he firmly believed that Liu Bei's reputation was slandered by others. Of course, it was impossible for him to know that the calm and composed Liu Bei in front of him was not the one in the rumors. The real Liu Bei was indeed a bastard through and through. Moreover, he was already dead. Brother Liu, is it convenient for you to follow Yao Yuan to register your battle merits now? Please lead the way, Brother Yao. Ning Fan tugged the demon rope. The 71 demon corpses floated along with his footsteps. In this way, he could be considered to have integrated into the Luoyun tribe with the identity of Liu Bei. If Liu Bei in the underworld knew that his unbearable reputation would shake the entire Luoyun tribe because of Ning Fan, it would become a name that would strike fear in the hearts of all demon generals. Liu Bei and Zhou Ming are the same. It seems like they should be grateful to Ning Fan for helping them gain fame. Chapter 243. In the northern desert city, Ning Fan followed Yao Yuan to pay his battle points and returned to his military residence. Demon soldiers had their own residences while lesser demons could only stay in the military camp. Liu Bei had a bad reputation in the northern desert, but he still had a home. In his bedroom, Ning Fan sat cross-legged on the bed and glanced at the battle points indifferently. Killing 71 people of the Lai Tu tribe gave him a total of 368 battle points. 5 points for an early gold core realm expert, 10 points for a mid-gold core realm expert, 15 points for a late gold core realm expert, and 20 points for a peak gold core realm expert. The battle points seemed to be calculated according to magic power. However, including the 368 points that Ning Fan obtained, Liu Bei's battle points had only accumulated to 9,742 points. It was really pitiful. This man had been cultivating as a demon for thousands of years. His standards seemed to be a little low. These battle points could be exchanged for immortal jade. The exchange rate was about 1 point of battle points for 100 immortal jade. Of course, it could also be exchanged for the Demon Tower Scripture, Bloodline Awakening, Demon Egg Cultivation, and many other benefits which could not be bought with immortal jade. The Demon Tower Scripture not only contained demonic techniques, But also ancient demon language which could be learned. Demon egg cultivation could not reverse time, but it could increase the speed of demon power refinement. Bloodline awakening. Ning Fan's eyes twitched. This bloodline awakening made him very excited. He was a winged demon and so was Liu Bei. What was a winged demon? Among all the bird races in the world, any winged demon would become a winged demon when their bloodline awakened for the first time. However, the bloodline of a winged demon was too ordinary. When a demon soldier breaks through to the nascent soul realm, his or her demon blood would awaken for the second time. Winged demons could evolve into the eagle tribe, sparrow tribe, and even the winged tribe and other unorthodox bloodlines. If they were lucky enough, their bloodline could evolve into a remnant primordial bloodline, and they would have the aptitude to cultivate demons that surpassed tens of thousands of people. If this remnant primordial bloodline could complete its third awakening and evolve into a true primordial demon bloodline, then even the primordial demon clan would extend an olive branch to it and recruit it into their clan. In the past, after Li Ban awakened his bloodline, he did not complete the mission immediately. Instead, he transformed into a dragon in Great Gene to complete the third awakening of his bloodline. In the end, he succeeded. Not only did he cultivate the second Dharma idol, but he also evolved the immemorial remnant bloodline into the immemorial thunder dragon bloodline. Even though his dragon blood was extremely thin, he was still a carp companion, gaining the qualifications to join the ancient dragon race. As for Liu Bei, his talent was poor. If it were not for the 10 demon commander blood veins passed down by his ancestor, it would have been impossible for him to form a nascent soul. With his level, it was not surprising that he had not completed the second awakening of his bloodline. As for Ning Fan, the reason why he cultivated the demon cultivation method was because of Luo Yu's instigation. He had succeeded by recklessly. However, he had barely awakened his winged demon bloodline. Even though his demon power had broken through to the early nascent soul realm, he had no idea about the method to awaken his demon bloodline. In the end, Ning Fan was the same as Liu Bei. His demon blood had only awakened for the first time, which was the blood of a winged demon. The sad thing was that Great Devil Ning's battle prowess could kill ordinary deity transformation cultivators, but when it came to demon blood and natural endowments, he was almost at the bottom among the 700 demon soldiers of the Luoyin tribe. This was exactly the same as Liu Bei. Bloodline awakening. I wonder to what extent I can awaken my demon bloodline if I have enough battle merits. The awakening of demonic blood was very important. The type of demonic blood would determine the demonic intent after the demonic transformation. Ning Fan has the divine intent of rain, the devil intent of mountain, and the demon intent. The characters of the demon race, the awakening of his bloodline, and the sleeping demon marshal. To him, this place was a great opportunity. It's difficult to advance to the divine transformation realm. Even if I have the heart of Mother Earth, I will only have a 10% chance of success. If my magic power, demon power, and devil chi are all cultivated to 10,000 units, I will have at least a 70% chance of breaking through to the divine transformation realm. With the help of the separation and reunion pill, it will increase by another 10%. With the heart of Mother Earth, it will increase by another 10%. In addition to my 2 types of divine intents, the day of breaking through to the divine transformation realm is just around the corner. The awakening of demon bloodline could only be completed in the bloodline pool of the demon race. There must be a priest of the demon race who would kowtow to the heavens for a baptism. Putting aside whether Ning Fan could successfully awaken his demon bloodline in the first attempt, he would need 100,000 battle merits just to enter the bloodline pool once. Even though Liu Bei had returned after killing the enemies, as a demon soldier of the early nascent soul realm, he had disobeyed the military order and left the tribe without permission. It was still a crime. However, he had made up for his crime by killing the enemy demons. Unless Liu Bei breaks through to the mid-nascent soul realm, he would not have the qualifications to lead the troops to attack. In that case, everything would return to its original point. In the end, he had to increase his demon power first. He was still unable to refine the demon marshal's blood. However, once he refines the 1284 drops of fake wild demon blood and 1084 demon cores, his demon power would break through to 2,000 units. With his demon power, he would truly break through to the Grand Cultivator realm. With his demon power, he would even be able to obtain an extremely high position in the army. All the enemies that the demon army under his command killed would be given to him. 100,000 battle merits would be enough for him to gather in a medium-sized battle. As soon as he made up his mind, Ning Fan immediately set up a sense isolation formation in his room. Then he took out the demon cores and demon blood, and consumed them for refinement. With Ning Fan's nascent soul realm demon power, he did not need any pills or spiritual herbs to replenish his demon power. His seclusion lasted for 1 month. During this period of time, Ning Fan did not step out of his room, but his aura force continued to rise. His demon power slowly broke through to 67 units, 68 units, 69 units, 99 units. When his demon power reached 100 units, he was about to break through to the mid-nascent soul realm. However, after his demon power reached 101 units, his cultivation realm did not improve at all. He was still at the early nascent soul realm. How could this be? He opened his eyes doubtfully. Then, he closed his eyes and continued to refine the demon blood and demon cores. 100 units, 101 units, 299 units. When his demon power broke through to 300 units, his cultivation realm should have reached the late nascent soul realm. However, his cultivation realm did not improve at all. He seemed to have understood something. His eyes turned solemn. After pondering for a moment, he continued to refine the demon blood and demon cores. 301 units, 302 units, 1,499 units. When his demon power broke through to 1,500 units, he should have broken through the bottleneck of the grand nascent soul realm. However, his cultivation realm remained at the early nascent soul realm. This time Ning Fan did not stop. He just frowned slightly. His heart was not calm at all. 1,501 units, 1,502 units. He only stopped when he reached 2,150 units. Originally, his demon power should have increased by 2368 units. However, as he consumed more and more demon blood, the effect was gradually reduced. 2,150 units of demon power. Ning Fan opened his eyes. Once his powerful demon power is released, the area within 1,000 zhang would be raised to the ground. However, the aura force of his demon power, which was comparable to that of a grand nascent soul realm, was forcefully suppressed. After that, he checked his immortal veins and his expression changed. I didn't expect that my cultivation realm would not be able to advance even though my demon power has increased. The reason is because of my demon blood. After looking inside his body, Ning Fan realized that the thing that was stopping him from advancing to the next realm was his demon blood. Originally, he was just interested in the awakening of his demon blood. However, he realized that if his demon blood does not undergo the second awakening, his cultivation realm would forever be stuck at the early nascent soul realm, even if his demon power had already surpassed that of a grand nascent soul realm cultivator. As such, his cultivation realm would not be able to advance. Even if he slew a demon marshal and obtained his demon blood, he would still not be able to advance to the divine transformation realm. This is troublesome. Do I still have to gather 100,000 battle points to achieve the awakening of my demon veins? He shook his head and sighed softly. For the 47th time, the sound of a young girl pacing carefully could be heard from outside the door. During the 1 month that Ning Fan was in seclusion, this girl had come to his room for a total of 46 times. Even this time, she still did not dare to enter recklessly as she was afraid that she would interrupt Ning Fan's cultivation. Ning Fan's brows relaxed and he dispersed the sense isolation formation. With a flick of his sleeve, the door opened on its own. Outside the door, there was a little girl who was about 10 years old who was holding a copper basin and a towel. Immediately, she was shocked and the copper basin fell to the ground, dirtying the towel. Her petite body was so frightened that her face turned pale. She hurriedly knelt down and kowtowed to Ning Fan while trembling, begging for mercy. Sir, spare my life. I did not do it on purpose. This little girl was Liu Bei's concubine. She was only 10 years old. He would only accept her when she was 14 years old. In Liu Bei's memory, This woman had a stuttering problem, and the more nervous she was, the more she stuttered. The reason for her stuttering seemed to be because this female demon's blood was impure. As for the reason why she was able to transform into a human, it was because she had lost the shape-shifting grass. However, this girl's appearance was very attractive. Although she was only 10 years old, she would become a beautiful girl in a few years' time. Liu Bei's taste in women was not bad. However, it was a pity that Liu Bei was killed by Ning Fan before he could wait for her to grow up. Thus, this girl should belong to Ning Fan. She was very scared, very scared. Originally, she was here to give her master some water to wash his face. Unexpectedly, she knocked over the copper basin. Such a reckless action might cause her to be killed by her cruel master. One should know that there were already 15 servant girls who were killed by Liu Bei before this because of various mistakes. The tea that was poured into them was too weak, too hot, and their smiles were not sweet enough. Especially when Liu Bei was in a bad mood, he would kill the innocent. Even when it was raining and the air was humid, Liu Bei would blame it on his servants and kill them. Although Liu Bei was not worth mentioning among the 700 demon soldiers of the Luoyun sect, he was still an existence that had broken through to the nascent soul realm among the millions of small demons of the Luoyun sect. He was not someone to be underestimated. She did see that her master's brows were still tightly knitted at the moment when he opened the door. He should be troubled by something. I have made a mistake and it happened when my master was upset. Can I still live? Spare. 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 She was so nervous that she could not even say the word spare this time. Get up. Don't worry. I won't punish you. You don't have to be nervous. Ning Fan sighed softly. Even though he was numb to killing people, he had never killed mortals. This girl had mixed demon blood, but she did not have any cultivation base. She was just a mortal. When Ning Fan was still a mortal, he thought that war was the business of soldiers. As a soldier, it was reasonable to kill the enemy no matter how many people they killed. However, ordinary people shouldn't be slaughtered by soldiers. After Ning Fan became a cultivator, he thought that cultivation was the business of cultivators. In the path of cultivation, in order to fight for limited resources, one had to kill others. However, mortals should not be involved in the cultivation world. Mortals had nothing to do with cultivation. He never thought that he was a good person. However, even if he was guilty of many crimes, he still had this principle. Other than the reason that she was a mortal, there was also an inexplicable sense of closeness that made Ning Fan reluctant to hurt her. He stood up and took a step forward. Like a breeze, he appeared in front of the girl, crouched down and helped her up. Don't be afraid. He smiled faintly. As for the servant girl, she was stunned. Since when did her cruel master become so gentle? However, after holding the servant girl's arm, Ning Fan's expression changed drastically. He finally knew why he felt so close to this servant girl. It was because this girl was one of the 3 souls of the female corpse. Why would Weiliang's soul be in the place where the demon race hibernates? If the first soul was in the demon's sinister forest and was connected to the ancient heavenly court, it was still reasonable. However, it was impossible for the second soul to come from the ancient heavenly court to the place where the demon race hibernates. However, he had indeed met Weiliang's second soul in this place. It was as if a huge hand had placed Mu Weiliang's soul in this place, waiting for Ning Fan to receive it. This is not a coincidence. Ning Fan's eyes tensed up. He suddenly remembered that old ancestor Dong Su had said that his fate was a little strange. As if someone had touched it. Is someone plotting against me? Who is it? What's their purpose? When his gaze changed and his aura was released, the servant girl was so scared that she almost cried. Yes, yes, yes. She was so nervous that she couldn't say the words "I'm sorry." This little stutterer, Ning Fan's eyes slowly turned gentle. Plotting against me. Interesting. However, I wonder how far a mysterious person like you can plot against me. He rubbed the little stutterer's head. This little stutterer was only as tall as Ning Fan's chest and seemed to be malnourished. Are you hungry? No, no, no. The little stutterer was in fear and trepidation. Are you not hungry, or do you not dare to say it? Ning Fan found it funny. He held the little stutterer's waist and turned into a demonic wind. In a flash, they appeared outside the most luxurious restaurant in northern Desert City. The restaurant was divided into 10 floors. Only gold core cultivators could enter. Nascent soul cultivators could enter the 5th floor. Middle stage cultivators could enter the 6th floor. Late stage cultivators could enter the 7th floor. Peak stage cultivators could enter the 8th floor. And soul formation cultivators could enter the 9th floor. The 10th floor was reserved for the Luo Yun tribe's patriarch. This restaurant was opened by one of the 7 generals of northern Desert City, Lu Sheng. Ning Fan knew that the little stutterer was hungry because she was immortal. He did not hesitate to bring the little stutterer to eat. However, Ning Fan was struggling in his heart. This little stutterer's soul was undoubtedly the soul of the female corpse. If this soul was assimilated into the female corpse, her spiritual wisdom would recover more. However, taking out this soul meant that he had to kill the little stutterer. Ning Fan was hesitating. In order to restore the female corpse's consciousness, he had to kill the innocent little stutterer. If this step was specially arranged by someone, what was his purpose? That person seemed to be waiting for him to kill the little girl and restore the female corpse. I can't let that person get what he wants. But this is Weiyang's soul. Ning Fan's eyes showed a hint of struggle and a bitter smile. Killing her would destroy her Dao heart. If he didn't kill her, Weiyang would never be able to revive. If he killed her, he would fall into someone's trap. To be able to plot against him step by step. Could it be a true immortal? Weiyang, if it was you, what would you choose? Ning Fan took a step forward and entered the restaurant. However, 2 guards immediately stepped forward and stopped the 2 of them. My master, young Master Hao Chun, has booked all the floors below the 5th floor for the distinguished guests. Those who have nothing to do with this get lost. Interesting. Do I need to care about the expression of a gold core ant like you when I bring my wife out for a meal? Break. As soon as this word was uttered, a shocking evil chi rose. Just the evil chi was enough to shatter the demon dawn of the 2 gold core realm guards, causing their cultivation to drop to the harmonious spirit realm. The 2 of them vomited blood and fell to the ground. Their eyes were filled with shock. What kind of person could use evil chi to shatter the demon dawn of others? The little stutterer was frightened by the 2 of them vomiting blood. Ning Fan gently patted her back and comforted her. Don't be afraid. With me here, no one can hurt you. And the little stutterer nodded her head. She faintly felt that her master today was different from before. He treated her too well. In order to treat her to a meal, he dared to hurt people in the most prestigious restaurant in the northern Desert City. In her heart, she naturally felt a little touched, but she was also a little afraid. Her master had a lot of bad reputation. Could it be that he had an ulterior motive for treating her so well, unbeknownst to her? She was already led by Ning Fan to the 5th floor. The moment they stepped into the 5th floor, a powerful spirit sense immediately swept towards them. It was like a needle, carrying the power of an early nascent soul realm cultivator. This young master is Hao Chun. How could an ordinary demon soldier like you hurt my subordinates? Break! Ning Fan uttered a word. The evil chi red light rolled towards the spirit sense needle. Immediately, the young man who attacked showed a shocked expression. His spirit sense was shattered. He vomited blood and retreated frantically. He was already severely injured. It's you, Liu Bei. How is this possible? When the young man saw Ning Fan's face, he let out a cry of disbelief. Chapter 244. Ning Fan held the little maid's hand and walked up to the 5th floor step by step. Then he sat down at the seat next to the window. He did not plan to go to the higher floors. Every floor above the 5th floor had a pressure formation. If one's cultivation base was not strong enough, he would be injured by the pressure. It was not that Ning Fan's pressure was not strong enough, but little stutterer who did not have any cultivation base would not be able to go up. He was like a sharp sword that pierced through the crowd. Wherever he went, the guests would scatter as if they were trying to avoid an evil star. Most of these guests were gold core realm cultivators. There were a few early nascent soul realm cultivators, and some of them were mid-nascent soul realm cultivators. However, none of them dared to reprimand Ning Fan. None of them could maintain their composure under Ningfan's ferocious aura. Ningfan only used his ferocious aura to severely injure Hao Chun, who was an early nascent soul realm cultivator. Perhaps only spirit-severing realm demon generals could condense such a ferocious red light. This man is really powerful. However, if he is an elite expert among the 700 demon soldiers, how could he be a nobody until now? Cough cough. You are Liu Bei. Hao Chun was dressed in red, but he coughed out a mouthful of black blood. His eyes flashed with a hint of jealousy. Apart from jealousy and hatred, there was also disbelief. He, Hao Chun, was a famous playboy in the northern desert city, while Liu Bei was the other extreme. Hao Chun was domineering, but he was quite strong. Moreover, his father was the priest in charge of the awakening blood pool in the northern desert city. As for Liu Bei, he only dared to be domineering towards Gold Core Realm juniors. His strength was considered as the weakest among the nascent soul realm cultivators. His family had already declined a long time ago. In the past, when Liu Bei met Hao Chun in the northern desert city, he even had to cup his fists and greet him politely. Today, why did Liu Bei's temperament change and become so insolent to injure me? The most unbelievable thing was that Liu Bei, who was known as the weakest nascent soul realm cultivator, actually had a way to injure me with his ferocious aura. It was simply absurd, but it really happened right in front of me. He is the biggest trash of the Luoyin tribe. Liu Bei. Each of the old monsters' expressions changed. Especially the nascent soul realm old monsters. They finally recalled why they felt that Liu Bei was the one who had lost his reputation before. 1 month ago, there was a rumor that Liu Bei had secretly left the northern desert, entered the grassland alone, and killed 71 enemy demons. Initially, no one believed it. From the looks of it, the rumors were still too weak. This Liu Bei truly had the demonic power of an early-stage nascent soul cultivator. However, his aura was even stronger than that of a peak cultivator. As expected, rumors could not be trusted. Liu Bei, who had been ridiculed by the outside world, was actually a peerless expert. Liu Bei. On the seat at the center of the 5th floor, there was a voluptuous woman who was surrounded by many people. She slowly stood up and looked at Ningfan's direction. Her eyes flashed with shame and indignation. What's up? Ningfan merely glanced at her indifferently, and then shifted his gaze away. He did not have much interest in her. This woman was dressed in purple. Her breasts were ample, but her waist was slender. Her face was excessively young, but she was playful and adorable. A child's face and large breasts were perfect for her. However, when she looked at Ningfan with that adorable face of hers, she was filled with shame and indignation. This shame and indignation seemed to be because Liu Bei had teased and disrespected her many times. As for the details, Ningfan did not manage to find out much from Liu Bei's fragmented memories. The only thing he knew was that this woman was Lu Wan, the younger sister of the northern desert city lord, Lu Sheng. Mid-nascent soul realm cultivation base, with a bone age of 900 years. This woman's aptitude was not bad. However, Ningfan did not put her in his eyes. Even the early divine transformation realm demon general Lu Sheng was not a match for him in this northern desert city. Lu Wan had originally prepared a few vulgarities to retort when Liu Bei teased her. However, it turned out that she was rejected by Liu Bei for the first time. Something's up. This answer was an obvious rejection. This Liu Bei actually did not seem to be interested in me at all. How is this possible? Lu Wan was a little dumbfounded. If she met Liu Bei in the past, he would certainly look at her body with covetous eyes and even tease her. However, today, Liu Bei was actually not interested in her at all. He did not even show the slightest hint of disrespect. It was not a disguise. If he were to disguise himself, there would more or less be some clues. However, Lu Wan, who had seen countless people, realized that the current Liu Bei's bearing was completely different from the past. No, it's all right. The Bright Jade restaurant is my elder brother's restaurant. Previously, it was young Master Hao Chun who was rude. However, since young Master Liu has already taught him a lesson, let's just forget about this matter. Consider it as giving me some face. Alright. As an apology, Wan is willing to invite young Master Liu over for a drink. There's no need for a drink. It's just that I don't want to be disturbed here. I won't pursue this matter further. However, if anyone dares to provoke me again, don't blame me for killing them mercilessly. Ning Fan just looked at the little stutterer thoughtfully. He did not even turn his head. Compared to Lu Wan'er, he was more worried about how he should deal with this little stutterer. His indifferent words carried a trace of coldness that could not be erased. Lu Wan'er could not help but shiver. She gently crossed her arms and felt surprised inwardly. If it was in the past, she was afraid that this Liu Bei would immediately pester her like a bee that clung to her without paying for its life. Today he actually behaved so politely. It's really strange. Since young master is unwilling, Wan'er will punish herself by drinking a cup of wine. This matter will end here. Lu Wan'er drank a cup of wine and sat down again. Hao Chen also consumed a pill to slightly suppress his injuries. Then he returned to his seat. The other guests also returned to their seats. However, there was no longer a cheerful atmosphere among the demon cultivators. Each of them felt as if they were sitting on pins and needles. As for Hao Chen, he would even cast sidelong glances at Ning Fan from time to time. His eyes were filled with hatred and fear soon. Ning Fan cast Lu Wan'er and the others to the back of his mind. He looked at the little stutterer and the little stutterer also looked at him. However, her stomach was growling. Are you hungry? Ning Fan could not help but laugh. The little stutterer lowered her head. Her face was filled with embarrassment. As a girl, she was so hungry that her stomach was growling. The waiter of the restaurant ordered the dishes timidly. Not long after, a table full of exquisite delicacies was served. At first, the little stutterer was still bashful. Later on, she just minded her own business and started eating. She was indeed a heartless little girl. She had some similarities with Mu Weiliang and the female corpse. Ning Fan remained silent. Even though he knew that this girl was the female corpse's second soul, he could not bring himself to kill her and seize her soul no matter what. This girl is obviously a replica of Mu Weiliang, a 10-year-old version. Sigh. He rubbed the little stutterer's head. Immediately, the little stutterer widened her eyes and raised her head to show her puzzlement. Did I do something wrong? No. Just eat. Ning Fan smiled bitterly. I'm thinking whether I should kill you or not. How can I say such words? Little stutterer, your name is Xiaohuan. Your surname is Mu. You should be called Mu Xiaohuan. Do you know? Her silly look was comparable to Jihe's. The setting sun shone through the window and into the restaurant. The demon lanterns of the northern desert city were all lit up. It has been a long time since I had such a peaceful meal. Ning Fan looked at the little stutterer and a hint of warmth flashed across his heart. Master told me to bask in the sun more often. Damn it. I don't even have so little time to bask in the setting sun. In this simple warmth, the trace of emotion that Ning Fan's state of mind lacked the most was slowly filled. His state of mind slowly improved. Eventually, it broke through to the peak nascent soul realm. At the moment when his state of mind was about to break through, his eyes flashed but it disappeared in a flash. That scene did not attract anyone's attention. In other words, there was no one who was foolish enough to provoke Ning Fan after he had revealed his true strength. Lu Wan'er was the only one who noticed it. Her small mouth couldn't help but open in shock and disbelief. She didn't hear a single word of Hao Chen's flattery and fawning words. He actually achieved a breakthrough in his state of mind during a meal. Almost immediately, Lu Wan'er rose to her feet and stared at Ning Fan in disbelief. This person's state of mind is already at the peak nascent soul realm. There's no doubt about it. His demon power is even denser than 1,500 units of peak nascent soul realm. There's no doubt about it either. However, this person is just at the early nascent soul realm. There's no doubt about it either. His magic power is sufficient but his cultivation realm is not sufficient. Naturally, it's because his demon blood has yet to awaken for the second time. However, with Lu Wan'er's eyes that had seen countless people, she could only look up to Ning Fan at this moment. How could such an existence fail in the second awakening of his demon blood? It seems like the awakening of the demon blood is controlled by Hao Chen's father. Could it be that this person did something when Liu Bei was awakening his demon blood? That's right. If it wasn't for that, with Ning Fan's monstrous potential, How could he fail to awaken his demon blood if he had the bloodline pool? As soon as she thought of this possibility, Lu Waner's eyes immediately turned hostile. She looked at Hao Chun and let out a soft snort. There was actually someone in the demon city that was ruled by her elder brother, who buried a talent like Liu Bei just because of a personal grudge. When she thought about it again, it seemed to make sense why Liu Bei had such a notorious reputation. Perhaps it was because Liu Bei failed to awaken his demon blood in the past, and he was schemed against by others. He thought that he could not show off his abilities before he improved his strength. That was why he sullied his reputation and acted like a playboy to deceive others. He carried the title of the weakest nascent soul realm cultivator and made everyone look down on him. In fact, he was cultivating diligently in the dark and accumulating his demon power. He was waiting for the day when he had enough strength to awaken his demon blood again and break through to the peak nascent soul realm. When she thought of this possibility, Lu Waner suddenly felt that Liu Bei, who had teased her every time they met, did not seem to be so hateful anymore. He was a man who could endure patiently. Today's eruption was the signal of his rise. Lu Waner did not know that she was completely wrong. The playboy who had teased her repeatedly was indeed the useless Liu Bei. As for the peerless expert in front of her, he was just a fake Liu Bei who did not have so many twists and turns in his story. As for Hao Chun, he was trying to please Lu Waner. When he heard her cold snort, he immediately froze. Hao Chun really did not know which of his words had offended this young lady. He also did not know that Lu Waner thought that he was an accomplice who caused Liu Bei to fail in his awakening, because of various misunderstandings. Miss Waner, may I know which of my words have displeased you? Hao Chun smiled apologetically. Today he was really unlucky to have provoked Liu Bei. However, he did not expect that Liu Bei was actually a person who hid his strength well. He could even kill someone with just a hint of malevolence. Although he had provoked Lu Waner, Hao Chun asked himself honestly. His behavior today was especially respectful and cautious. He definitely did not say anything wrong. Why is Lu Waner angry? There must be a reason. I'm sorry. Waner is a little tired. I'll take my leave first. Young master, please help yourself. Lu Waner wiped her lips with a silk handkerchief. Then, she rose to her feet and walked towards Ning Fan with a complicated expression. Young master, are you preparing to awaken your demon veins? How did you know? Ning Fan was secretly puzzled. Could it be that this lady also knows the mind-reading technique? How did she know what I'm planning to do? No matter how smart Ning Fan is, he certainly would not be able to guess Lu Waner's cliché thoughts. Young master, why haven't you gone yet? Are you afraid that a vile person will harm you? A vile person? Ning Fan's gaze fell upon Hao Chun, who was standing opposite him. Coincidentally, his eyes met with Hao Chun's resentful gaze, and he could not help but burst into laughter. This Lu Waner was rather interesting. Hao Chun had treated her to a meal, and she had beaten up Hao Chun. However, in the end, Lu Waner had spoken up for her, and even called Hao Chun a despicable person. However, it made sense. From Liu Bei's memories, Ning Fan knew that Hao Chun's father, Lu Zongyun, was a great demon cultivator. Lu Zongyun's other identity in the northern desert city was the bloodline pool priest, responsible for the second awakening of nascent soul realm monsters. Today, he beat up Hao Chun, and he didn't know if that Lu Zongyun would take revenge on him. However, Ning Fan did not put Lu Zongyun in his eyes at all. In the first world, Ning Fan had already killed 300 demons at Lu Zongyun's level in just 1 month. I'm not afraid of villains. At least, this person isn't worthy of my attention. Ning Fan shook his head. Then why hasn't young master awakened his bloodline yet? Not enough battle merits. Ning Fan smiled faintly as if he was mocking himself, but his smile suddenly turned cold. In the blink of an eye, a tremendous aura force swept across the entire Mingyu Tower. When this aura force arrived, none of the experts of the demon race could sit still anymore. All of them were suppressed to the ground by the aura force. This aura force is so domineering. However, when this aura force swept towards Ning Fan and Mu Xiaohuan, it was crushed by Ning Fan with just a flick of his sleeve. Liu Bei, you actually remained calm and collected under my aura force. At first, I didn't believe Yao Yuan's words. No wonder he praised you so much. If I didn't see it with my own eyes, I wouldn't believe that Liu Bei, who has a bad reputation in my northern desert city, is actually an expert who can endure everything. My sister Wan Er's question is also my question. You, Liu Bei, as a member of the demon race, should have the ambition to advance bravely and go against the current. How can you conceal your strength and conceal your identity? Why didn't you awaken your demon bloodline again? A young man in black armor slowly appeared beside Lu Wan Er. That domineering aura force was emitted by him. He was the demon general of the northern desert city, Lu Sheng. Battle merits? Alright. I'll give you a chance to obtain battle merits. Today, if you can reach the 10th floor of the Bright Jade Tower, and withstand the aura force of a mid-spirit severing realm expert, I'll give you 50,000 battle merits. After that, I'll give you 10 days to kill one person. If you manage to do that, I'll give you another 50,000 battle merits. A total of 100,000 battle merits is enough for you to awaken your demon bloodline once. With your potential, you'll definitely succeed in one try if you don't get tricked by some vile person. However, do you dare to accept this challenge? The young man's eyes lit up. In the Luoyun tribe, only a titled demon general could make him feel pressured. However, he actually felt a trace of pressure from Ning Fan's body. The reason why he gave Ning Fan this challenge was because he didn't want to waste his talent, and also to test Ning Fan's true strength. An ordinary early nascent soul realm cultivator might not be able to obtain 100,000 battle merits, even after going through hundreds of battles. However, the young man had given Ning Fan a great opportunity. He wanted to see if Ning Fan could seize this opportunity. Liu Bei, you might be able to reach the 10th floor of the Bright Jade Tower. I can't do it, Ning Fan said indifferently. What? The young man's eyes were filled with disappointment. Could it be that he had overestimated this person? If I forcefully reach the 10th floor, this tower will definitely collapse. The young man stared at Ning Fan deeply. This young man's eyesight is indeed extraordinary. The suppressive force formation of the Bright Jade Tower was extremely unique. The first 9 floors were fine, but the 10th floor had a special formation. Only a titled demon general could enter. Chapter 245. Ning Fan's pace was slow, but every step he took made a sound on the ground, causing the entire Mingyu Tower to shake. His back was silent and dignified. At this moment, none of the demons dared to underestimate him. Even young Master Hao Qin, who harbored a grudge against Ning Fan for revenge, felt his blood boiling. When he saw Ning Fan's back, he could not muster up the slightest bit of disobedience. Liu Bei. This person was Liu Bei. Don't provoke him. Ning Fan was unaware of all these. His ears could no longer hear any sound from the moment he stepped on the jade stairs. Even if it was the sound of the wind. No one knew that Ning Fan's mind was currently immersed in a series of questions. Inside the storage pouch, the silent Eastern Ocean bell was ringing in Ning Fan's mind. Faint golden halos. The sound of the bell had the ability to freeze one's body. When it rang in his mind, even his thoughts were almost frozen. Eastern Ocean bell. Ning Fan's eyes flashed, but he didn't stop his steps. What is the relationship between the Eastern Ocean bell and the Eastern Ocean heaven of the Four Heavens immortal world? What does it have to do with the demon race? The design of this bright jade building was extremely ingenious. The ancient Fey Pagoda's deterrence array was set up on the 5th floor. This formation was rumored to have been created by the ancestral Fey. It was a formation used to intimidate enemies. How is this formation related to the Eastern Ocean bell? Originally, Ning Fan only hoped to ascend to the 10th floor and obtain 50,000 battle points. Now, however, he was trying to find out the secrets of the Eastern Ocean bell. Gritting his teeth, he stepped onto the 6th floor and stopped. However, the moment he stopped, the ringing of the bell showed signs of stopping. He seemed to be lost in thought as he held Mu Xiaohuan's hand and stepped onto the jade staircase. They climbed up to the 7th level, and as soon as they began to move, the tolling of a bell could be heard. Dong, dong, dong. The sound of the bell rang in Ning Fan's heart. Ning Fan realized that the red light of the evil qi that he had accumulated from all the killings he had committed throughout his life had lost control at this moment. It was glowing with red light, as if it was responding to the bell. Under the sound of the bell, the evil aura seemed to show signs of transformation. The pressure was invisible. However, Ning Fan could feel that his aura was slowly being dyed with a dark red blood light. With the addition of the crimson glow, the pressure became even stronger. His demonic power was comparable to that of a grand cultivator, but his aura was still slightly inferior to that of a half-step divine transformation cultivator with 5,000 units. However, at this moment, its aura was slowly climbing towards the half-step soul formation level. Ning Fan's eyes were filled with surprise. This Eastern Ocean bell could actually condense evil qi and increase its aura force. Of course, with the inheritance of the Yin-Yang locket, Ning Fan was not afraid of the pressure below the void fragmentation realm. Even if it was above the void fragmentation realm, he could still resist a little. However, he was ultimately unable to withstand the might of a perfected immortal. Moreover, the aura of the locket belonged to the ancient chaos immortal emperor, not Ning Fan. The might of this evil qi was something that Ning Fan had cultivated step by step. It belonged to him, and he had unlimited room for improvement. If this Eastern Ocean bell is able to gather ferocious aura and enhance its aura, I might not be able to improve my cultivation, but it's highly possible for me to possess the aura of a true immortal in the nascent soul realm. However, why is the Eastern Ocean bell ringing this time instead of behaving like this before? Perhaps the ancient demon runes carved on the bell recorded a technique to increase the pressure. The pressure formation set up by the Bright Jade building is similar to the method of controlling treasures recorded in the ancient demon runes. As a result, the Eastern Ocean bell's prestige divine ability was activated by coincidence. Void evasion, heaven sealing technique, increase pressure. The secret of this Eastern Ocean bell is truly shocking. It's definitely not an ordinary ancient phase sacrificial artifact. If it was in the past, Ning Fan would not mind taking out the Eastern Ocean bell in front of everyone. However, after witnessing all kinds of miraculous abilities of this bell, he knew that it was inappropriate to take out this item which had an extraordinary background right under the nose of the ancient demon race. If that's the case, I'll pay a visit to the scripture tower of the demon city to learn the ancient demon writing and decipher the true method of using the Eastern Ocean bell. In the future, I'll have a way to increase the pressure of the bell. For now, I'll go to the 10th floor. Ning Fan withdrew his thoughts and stepped into the 7th floor. The 7th level of aura was comparable to a peak nascent soul cultivator, but it was not enough to stop him. The bell continued to ring. Thump, thump, thump. The pressure of the bell was still increasing. When Ning Fan stepped into the 8th floor, all the evil qi entered his body and merged with the aura. At this moment, Ning Fan's body was shrouded with a strong dark red aura force. Under the aura force, most of the demons on the 5th floor were suppressed to the ground, unable to move. Spirit Severing Realm Aura Force. The black-armored demon general's eyes were filled with surprise. In his eyes, Ning Fan's demon power was still at the early nascent soul realm. Even though his aura force was strong, it was only comparable to a peak nascent soul realm cultivator. However, as he continued to ascend the tower, his aura force actually increased steadily. When he reached the 8th floor, it had reached the early spirit severing realm. In fact, Ning Fan's current aura force was even slightly stronger than his demon general Lu Sheng's. This young man has hidden his strength well. If it wasn't for Yao Yuan's recommendation, I wouldn't have known that this Liu Bei is actually a ruthless master who kills people like scything flax. His evil qi is even weaker than mine. However, this person has merged his evil qi into his aura force to increase his aura force. I have never heard of such a method before. However, this person's aura force has reached the early spirit severing realm. However, his evil qi has been exhausted and there is no more room for it to increase further. This is already his limit. He can go up to the 9th floor alone, but he can't go up with his little daughter. The black-armored demon general felt slightly regretful. This Liu Bei is indeed a genius. If his bloodline awakens successfully, he might be able to go up to the 10th floor alone. However, It was impossible for him to do so now. You can go down now. Even if you haven't gone up to the 10th floor, you have opened my eyes. I will remember this 50,000 battle points for you. Lu Sheng, who was clad in black armor, revealed a smile. No matter what, his purpose of finding out Ning Fan's true strength had been achieved. Originally, the 50,000 battle points was just a bait. Even if Ning Fan couldn't ascend to the 10th floor, as long as he was a talented person, Lu Sheng would give it to him. It could be considered as Lu Sheng's sincerity to recruit Ning Fan. Demon generals were known as generals. They would need powerful demon soldiers to guard a region. Ning Fan was probably one of the strongest among the 700 demon soldiers in the Luoyun sect. She was worthy of Lu Sheng deigning to befriend her. The demon general's words caused the demons who were prostrating on the ground to be secretly shocked. Lu Sheng's words were not only a friendly gesture to Ning Fan, but also a warning to everyone present. If anyone dares to offend Ning Fan in the northern desert city again, it would be equivalent to not giving face to a demon general. However, Lu Sheng's words didn't waver Ning Fan's heart. He stood silently on the 8th floor, holding the young maid's hand. He closed his eyes and sensed the evil energy in his body. The evil aura had already completely merged with the pressure, causing the pressure to rise to the early stage of deity transformation. This was an unexpected gain. However, at this stage, it was not enough to rely on his evil aura to raise his prestige. The evil chi was formed by killing nascent soul cultivators and harming the harmony of the world. The malice chi, on the other hand, was formed by killing soul formation cultivators and enraging the will of heaven. Evil chi. That's right. In order to raise my prestige to the mid-divine transformation realm, I must have evil chi. Moreover, I need to kill at least one deity transformation realm expert to obtain evil chi. Only then can I break through to the mid-divine transformation realm. I have never killed a deity transformation realm expert with my own hands. Today, I can kill the first one. Moreover, I want to break through to the mid-divine transformation realm with this person's evil chi. Ning Fan patted his storage pouch, took out a jade bottle and crushed it. A remnant primordial spirit that was sealed within the bottle was sucked into his palm. Then he immediately swallowed it. It was the soul of the vice sect master of the Black Buddha sect, Xie Guang. After devouring this ferocious soul, Ning Fan's body gained another trace of evil chi for the first time. With a single step, he stepped onto the jade stairs that led to the 9th floor. No one knew what Ning Fan had swallowed. However, the trace of evil chi that appeared out of nowhere made Lu Sheng's heart turn cold. Evil chi. This young man is just an early nascent soul realm cultivator. It's impossible for him to kill a deity transformation realm expert. How could he have evil chi? However, this aura that makes me feel cold. If it's not evil chi, then what is it? Initially, Lu Sheng was certain that Ning Fan would not be able to reach the 9th floor. However, his judgment was shattered by Ning Fan step by step. Dong, dong, dong. The bell was rung. On the 9th floor, the aura force that was comparable to the mid-divine transformation realm pierced towards Ning Fan, causing his sea of consciousness to ache. A trace of blood flowed out from the corner of his mouth. After the nascent soul realm, every step was a world of difference. Once one reached the spirit-severing realm, the difference was like a chasm. At such a close distance, even Lu Sheng would be sent flying by the aura force if he tried to resist it recklessly. However, only a trace of blood flowed out from the corner of Ning Fan's mouth. Lu Sheng frowned. He realized that he could not see through this little winged demon named Liu Bei anymore. On the 5th floor, each of the demons from the Luoyun sect held their breath. None of them dared to make a single sound as they were afraid of disturbing Ning Fan's ascension. Ning Fan's back became heavier. Under his back, each of the demons felt like they were as insignificant as ants. As for Ning Fan, he was like a star in the sky, unreachable. Just one more step, and he would be able to reach the 9th floor. Ning Fan's eyes flashed with determination. As soon as he took the first step, the bright jade tower let out a creaking sound. The tables and chairs shook, and were on the verge of collapsing. As for the baleful chi that he obtained from devouring Xie Guang's primordial spirit, it quickly merged with the aura force. A wave of aura force that was as heavy as a giant dragon swept across the place. Under this aura force, even Demon General Lu Sheng had to take a few steps back to protect his sister Lu Wan. His eyes were filled with astonishment. Mid-divine transformation realm. This young man's aura force has actually reached the mid-divine transformation realm, when he is only at the early nascent soul realm. Within the 1 billion li of the Luoyun tribe, only the titled Demon General Lu Daochen had the aura force of a mid-divine transformation realm expert. This young man must be the most outstanding person in the past 10,000 years of my Luoyun tribe. We must treat him generously, and we must not allow anyone to harm him. If Lu Zongyun dares to harm him when his bloodline awakens, I will definitely annihilate his entire clan. With the aura force of a mid-divine transformation realm expert, Ning Fan would definitely be able to ascend to the 10th floor and crush the Bright Jade Tower if he did not bring Mu Xiaohuan along. In Demon General Lu Sheng's heart, he had silently agreed that Ning Fan had won the bet with him this time. Lu Sheng also noticed that the baleful qi that Ning Fan borrowed from somewhere had already been used up. It was impossible for the aura force to increase anymore. However, Ning Fan's unexpected actions made Lu Sheng vaguely feel that this young man still had some tricks up his sleeves. He was able to bring his people to the 10th floor. It was illogical, but Lu Sheng felt that way. Will this young man continue to ascend the tower? The 9th floor was Ning Fan's limit if he brought Mu Xiaohuan along. The 10th floor was Ning Fan's limit if he did not bring Mu Xiaohuan along. On the 9th floor, Ning Fan stopped moving, but the bell did not stop ringing. It was still the same dull dong-dong sound. From this sound, Ning Fan could gradually make out the human language. It was as if someone was saying something in the sound of the bell. However, he could not hear the content clearly. Who's talking? Ning Fan was hesitant. However, he knew that it would be difficult for him to ascend to the 10th floor unless he used the yin-yang locket and ascended with the might of the ancient chaos formation. However, if he used the yin-yang locket as a shortcut, it would go against the purpose of the pressure force formation. The 9th floor is enough for me to obtain 50,000 battle points and prove that I have the strength to ascend to the 10th floor alone. There is no need to deliberately use the yin-yang locket and expose the fact that I am not afraid of the aura force below the void fragmentation realm. He held Mu Xiaohuan's hand and turned around silently as if he wanted to go downstairs. However, just as he was about to take a step back, the bell suddenly rang loudly in his mind. This time, he could clearly hear the voice that was mixed with the sound of the bell. I am the demon ancestor. This technique is the heaven sealing technique. Prestige secret art is the prestige secret art of the Force secret art. The inscriptions are the incantations. This is the Heart Sutra. The Heart Sutra can only be taught once. When the bell stops ringing, the Heart Sutra will collapse. Ning Fan stopped his footsteps when he heard the voice. Demon Ancestor. The Eastern Ocean Bell was merely a supreme rank magical treasure, and was not worth mentioning. However, as an ancient demon sacrificial artifact, it had inherited the demon ancestor's secret technique. Ning Fan managed to glean a lot of information from the demon ancestor's words. The heaven sealing technique was divided into two parts. The divine ability of the Eastern Ocean Bell and the fixed body technique that Ning Fan comprehended through the bell belonged to the first half of the technique, the secret of the word might. As for the second half, the secret of the word force, it was not mentioned. This prestige formula was divided into two parts, the verbal formula and the mental formula. Once the inscription on the bell was deciphered, it should be a mnemonic chant. And this bell that kept ringing in one's mind was the mantra. Moreover, this mantra seemed to only be passed down once. If one could not obtain it after the first time, the bell would collapse and the mantra would be lost forever. Ning Fan didn't know how powerful the heaven sealing technique was, but judging from Stone Warrior's astonishment, it was a peak-level immortal technique even in the Four Heavens immortal world. Now that Zhang Xian had obtained half of the inheritance by chance, and had even triggered the Eastern Ocean Bell by chance and heard its chimes, it was possible for him to learn the heart mantra of listening. If he left Mingyu Tower at this moment, the bell would completely collapse, and he would no longer have the chance to obtain the mantra. We can't retreat. There was no time to choose. He had to obtain the mantra before the bell stopped ringing. There's only one chance. Ning Fan put away all his thoughts. held Mu Xiaohuan's hand, and stepped onto the jade stairs that led to the 10th floor. He really wants to reach the top of the 10th floor. Lu Sheng had guessed the beginning, but he couldn't figure out what method Ning Fan was going to use to resist the pressure of the 10th floor. Every step he took on the 10th floor carried the might of a late spirit severing realm expert. It struck Ning Fan's mind and set off a storm. This feeling was similar to the feeling he had when he first met the late spirit severing realm demon general Wang Xiao, before he entered the second world. Even if he faced Wang Xiao, who had lost his demon body and was gravely injured, he only had a 10% chance of escaping. This pressure was comparable to Wang Xiao's. Perhaps even the Cloud General of the Luo Yun tribe wouldn't be able to resist it. Should I activate the Yin-Yang locket? No, Ning Fan wanted to resist it with his own pressure, and listen to the bell chimes. 1 step and his immortal veins were about to break. 10 steps and his silver bones were about to break. 100 steps and his nascent soul was about to collapse. Ning Fan's face was pale, but he didn't turn back. That heart sutra was slowly ringing in his ears. He seemed to have seen a golden-robed young man standing on the peak of the stars in the boundless void, looking down on all living beings. The golden-robed young man's eyes had a kind of might. A might that was enough to freeze heaven and earth. Ning Fan's mind was enlightened. Why could the Eastern Ocean bell freeze one's body? The direction of my comprehension was wrong. I condense magic power to bind and freeze my body, but the direction is wrong. He recalled the time when he entered the Ningbai Peak for the first time to gather herbs when he was young. At that place, the young Ning Fan saw a wolf for the first time. Those dark green eyes carried a kind of ferocious might. Under that ferocious might, the young Ning Fan was so frightened that he couldn't move. This deterrence was the secret of the first half of the heaven sealing technique. Using magic power to freeze one's body could only freeze the person. In order to freeze time, reincarnation and the heavenly Tao, one would need to comprehend might and momentum. Might word mantra. As soon as this enlightenment rose in his mind, the heavy pressure that almost crushed Ning Fan immediately dispersed like a gentle breeze. His eyes were glowing with a faint golden light. His lips were moving, silently chanting the mantra of the bell. The golden light covered his eyes. Ning Fan seemed to see the lips and tongue of the golden-robed young man who was standing on the peak of the star. He looked down at the starry sky and smiled proudly. With a step forward, the star, which was 100 times bigger than the rain world, was crushed. He raised his head and looked at the sky with disdain. Then he asked, stepping on the eastern sea and gazing at the north, I ask, who is the strongest in the heavens? The golden-robed young man's body flashed with blood-red light. A strong and ferocious demonic chi turned the moon into the color of blood. He bent his finger and sighed. The blood-red moonlight was absorbed by him and turned into a moonlight boat. He leaped up and stepped on the moon boat. No one could stop him. Fishing for the demonic moon in heaven and earth. Sailing the boat in the wind and rain. The scene ended here. There were only 2 sentences of the mantra. However, the aura force contained in these 2 sentences seemed to hit Ning Fan's face, causing his eyes to widen. The golden light faded and he regained his consciousness. However, after he regained his consciousness, Ning Fan realized that he was only 1 step away from the 10th floor. He did not immediately step onto the 10th floor. Instead, he was deep in thought. Is that golden-robed young man the demon ancestor? His aura force is so domineering. There were only 4 sentences of the mantra, but they contained the aura force of trampling on the eastern sea, aspiring to the heavens, fishing the moon as a boat, and traversing the void. Demon ancestor. Ning Fan looked pensive. A ray of golden light emerged from the center of his palm. This golden light was the heart chant bell that had been ringing continuously in his mind. This ray of golden light represented the aura force of the demon ancestor. The mantra could only be heard once. However, this golden light was the best nourishment to increase the aura force. It was even better than the baleful qi. Ning Fan's eyes flashed. He swallowed this ray of golden light and stepped onto the 10th floor in a single step. At this moment, the golden light was refined and its aura force rapidly rose to the late spirit severing realm. It was not the aura force borrowed from the Yin-Yang locket, but Ning Fan's own aura force. At this moment, a golden shadow condensed behind him. It was tens of zhang tall, but it was blurry and faceless. At this moment, Mingyu Tower began to collapse. This Liu Bei can still step onto the 10th floor while carrying another person. This kid's methods are truly monstrous. If I'm not mistaken, this person's aura force has already risen to the late spirit severing realm. However, what I find the most unbelievable is the golden light behind his back. If I'm not mistaken, this golden shadow should be one of the 3 void fragmentation realm abilities, the sovereign shadow. This kid can actually comprehend the sovereign shadow technique at the early nascent soul realm. This kid will certainly reach the void fragmentation realm in this lifetime. It seems like my northern desert city and even the Luoyun tribe have produced an extraordinary demon. This kid has broken through to the demon general realm and advanced to the demon commander realm. It's just a matter of time before he ascends to the demon sovereign realm. Lu Sheng was already shocked when he saw the sovereign shadow. His intention to befriend Ning Fan became unprecedentedly solemn and firm. However, Lu Sheng did not know that Ning Fan had already mastered the 3 void fragmentation realm abilities: Incarnation, Soul Extraction, and Sovereign Shadow. Mingyu Tower collapsed. However, Lu Sheng did not feel distressed at all, because the person who could make Mingyu Tower collapse must be a peerless expert. I declare, from now on, Liu Bei is the #1 demon soldier of my northern desert city. He will be bestowed the Blood Orchid token. The Blood Orchid guards and 10,000 little demons will be given the right to lead the troops into battle. In addition, 50,000 battle points will be given to Liu Bei's War Merit token. No mistakes are allowed. Lu Sheng's heart was filled with a sense of pride. It was inevitable that Northern Desert City would prosper because of Liu Bei alone. The Luoyun tribe would also prosper because of Liu Bei in the future. This matter must be reported to Wanluo City immediately and recommended to the titled Demon General. Chapter 246. In the General's Mansion of the Northern Desert City. In the guest room, the simple-minded little stutterer was sleeping soundly on the bed. A 10-year-old girl was naturally sleepy. Ning Fan, on the other hand, sat cross-legged on the ground and looked at the token in his hand. His lips curled into a smile. Destroying the Bright Jade Tower gave him 50,000 battle points. As long as he kills one more person according to the promise he made with Lu Sheng, he would be able to get another 50,000 battle points. In this way, he would have enough battle points to awaken his demon blood. Even though his true strength was exposed, Liu Bei had many enemies and few friends. So far, there was no one who noticed that Ning Fan was not Liu Bei. The secret of the Eastern Ocean Bell was solved, and he inherited half of the demon ancestors' heaven sealing technique. What pleased Ning Fan the most was the increase of his aura force. The aura force of a late divine transformation realm expert. Not only that, when he ascended to the top of the Bright Jade Tower, he even condensed the Sovereign's shadow. This was far beyond Ning Fan's expectation. The 3 void fragmentation realm abilities were Incarnation, Soul Extraction, and Sovereign Shadow. Only void fragmentation realm old monsters were qualified to cultivate these 3 abilities. However, it did not mean that every void fragmentation realm expert could comprehend them. Those who could comprehend one of them were as rare as a phoenix feather and a unicorn horn. Ning Fan, on the other hand, had already comprehended 3 of them before attaining the void fragmentation realm. With Ning Fan's current cultivation realm, he could not unleash the full power of these 3 abilities. However, once he attains the void fragmentation realm, the void fragmentation realm is divided into 9 levels. Each level is like the 9 heavens. The difference between them is like heaven and earth. Under normal circumstances, a first-level expert would never be able to defeat a second-level expert. However, if I attain the void fragmentation realm, I would be invincible among the first 3 levels of the void fragmentation realm with my 3 great abilities. However, Ning Fan did not expect that he would condense the Sovereign's shadow in the Bright Jade Tower. As such, many demons might have seen Ning Fan's Sovereign's shadow. However, he did not know how many of them would be able to recognize the abilities of the Sovereign's shadow. Perhaps there would be trouble, or perhaps nothing would happen. However, There was nothing he could do about what had already happened. To refine the demon commander's golden blood, I need a 10,000-year-old jade fire grass. The Luoyun tribe doesn't have it. However, the cleansing flame tribe has quite a number of it. I can't find it if I want to improve my demon power yet. In that case, he could first go to the scripture pagoda and memorize the demon race's characters. These words must be extremely difficult to learn. Even with the wisdom of the Wind Lady, she could only learn 31 words. If I have these words, I will be able to decipher the chant of the heaven stabilizing might technique. In the future, I will be able to kill divine transformation realm experts and condense its might. As for the awakening of my demon blood, it will have to be done after I kill someone. I wonder who this demon general Lu Sheng wants me to kill. Ningfan rose to his feet and stroked Mu Xiaohuan's cheek, which was in deep sleep. He shook his cauldron ring and kept her into the red mist space for the time being. After that, he instructed his women to take good care of her. Then, taking advantage of the blood moon, he went to look for Lu Sheng that night. Lu Sheng gave him 10 days to kill one person. The faster, the better. According to Ningfan's speculation, Lu Sheng was the general who guarded the borders. If there were no accidents, he would be tasked to assassinate the enemy's general. General's Mansion, White Tiger Hall. Ningfan pushed the door open and entered. There was already a man and a woman waiting for him in the hall. As soon as she saw Ningfan enter, the lady bowed to him while the man nodded with a smile. Commander Lu, you're finally here. Liu Bei greets the demon general and Miss Wan Air. May I know who the demon general wants me to kill? Ningfan cupped his fists. You're straightforward. I like it. This jade slip has the information about that person. Take it and kill him. If you succeed, you can spread the news of his death to the public and destroy the enemy's morale. This will increase the odds of our main force winning the war. Ningfan scanned the jade slip with his spirit sense. He was not surprised. Sure enough, the person Lu Sheng wanted him to kill was the commander of the Broken Peak Guards of the Lai Tu tribe, Xiong Rui. The Broken Peak Guards were the elite guards of the demon general Bai Yuan of the Lai Tu tribe. That Xiong Rui was a peak nascent soul realm expert with a demon power of 3,000 jia. Defeating this guard and killing their commander would greatly reduce the morale of the enemy's main force. When the time comes, Lu Sheng would lead the demon army to cross the grassland and launch an attack on the Lai Tu tribe. Ningfan was not concerned about the specific strategy. What he was concerned about was killing people. This is easy. Ningfan kept the jade slip after saying that. Then he cupped his fists and left. It was normal to assassinate the enemy's general during a battle between two armies. As long as it was not a spirit-severing realm expert, it was not difficult for Ningfan. Wait. Commander Lu, you can bring Wan Er along with you. Lu Sheng pointed at Lu Wan Er and smiled mischievously. Lu Wan Er blushed and nodded her head. Ningfan shook his head. A mid-nascent soul realm expert is a burden. Lu Wan Er's initial shyness immediately turned into reproach. Among the 900 years of her life, her aptitude was top-notch. Moreover, she had followed her elder brother and experienced many battles. Thus, she was familiar with the military formations of the demon army. The reason why Lu Sheng sent her to follow him to battle was because he was worried that Ningfan did not know how to lead an army even though he was strong. Lu Wan Er felt very embarrassed and resentful. She was a heroine after all. Yet, Ningfan actually said that she was a burden. She secretly cursed inwardly. In the past, you Liu Bei would pester me every day in order to tarnish your reputation. You even said sweet nothings to me every day. I didn't expect you to be so cold when you reveal your true colors, however. It was this kind of indifference that made Lu Wan Er silently criticize him. At the same time, she looked at Ningfan in a different light. Forget it. If you don't want to bring me along, then I won't. However, how many troops are you going to bring for this battle? There are 15,000 small demons in the Broken Peak Guards. I wonder if the 10,000 troops you bring will be enough. If it's not enough, I alone am enough. Otherwise, if I were to lead an army, why would I reject Miss Wan Er to follow me? I still understand the principle of being a military supervisor. You want to assassinate Xiong Rui by yourself? Isn't it a little dangerous? Lu Wan'er's tone sounded a little worried for Ning Fan. Wan'er, you don't have to say too much. Since Commander Lu has such confidence, I'm looking forward to seeing Commander Lu kill the enemy's leader alone. It just so happens that we don't have enough troops. It's also a good thing that Commander Lu doesn't want to bring the Blood Orchid Guards with you. I'll transfer the Blood Orchid Guards to you. If that's the case, I'll take my leave. Ning Fan pushed the door open and disappeared into the night. As for Lu Sheng, he let out a bitter smile and sighed. Brother, why did you let him take the risk alone? If something happens to him, you won't be able to live anymore? Don't talk nonsense. Lu Wan'er's cheeks turned red. Her brother really liked to joke behind her back. Who would have thought that the black-armored demon general who had a cold appearance would be such a lazy person? Lu Wan'er had to admit that after several encounters with Ning Fan, she was quite moved by him. After all, an outstanding man like Ning Fan was like a peerless beauty among women. Few men would dare to say that they were not moved by him. However, it was just a good impression. Lu Wan'er had not reached the point where she would die for Ning Fan. My brother always likes to talk nonsense. How can a girl's reputation and integrity be used as a topic of nonsense? Brother, in short, I think it's not appropriate for Liu Bei to enter the enemy's territory alone. Why don't I bring the Blood Orchid Guards to reinforce him? You're worried about him and want to monitor him? Lu Sheng's eyes flashed. No. I'm worried about him. Brethren, be serious. Lu Wan'er seemed to have fallen into Lu Sheng's trap again. Alright, let's be serious. Let's talk about this person. I'm a bit worried about this person leading the army, so I sent you to supervise the army and assist him in arranging formations to kill the enemies. However, I seem to have misjudged this person's ambition. He refused to bring the Blood Orchid Guards along with him, which made me very surprised. He has no interest in controlling the Blood Orchid Guards, 10,000 harmonious spirit and gold core subordinates. Yet he has no interest in leading them. If he is the eyes and ears of the enemy, then there is no need for him to do so. His ambition is not to lead an army. It's not enough to be a demon general. Lu Sheng looked at the boundless night sky and sighed. I have a hunch that this man will be the key to defeating the Lai Tu tribe. Wan'er, it's getting late. Let's gather the troops and set off. It's almost time to set off for the Mengyuan Plain. The night was boundless. Mengyuan Plain, Lianyun Mountain. 15,000 demon experts were guarding this place. Thousands of bright flames lit up the sky. Inside the big tent, a black-faced brawny man was looking at the military map and discussing with a few demon soldiers about the march. However, at a certain moment, the black-faced brawny man's expression suddenly changed. He slammed the table and stood up. His thunderous roar echoed for thousands of miles. Who is it? Come out, you sneaky bastard. The moment his roar resounded, all the bright flames in the camp turned gray. The figure of a white-robed winged demon appeared in the night sky. With the blood moon hanging in the sky, the appearance of this person was even stranger. Looking at Xiong Rui and the other experts who were rushing out of the tent, the young winged demon said indifferently, My name is Liu Bei. I'm here to take your head. Ridiculous. You're just an early nascent soul realm winged demon, who hasn't even undergone the second awakening of his bloodline. How dare you come to the encampment of the Broken Peak Guard and speak arrogantly? Pass my order. Demon Crossbow Camp, shoot this person to death. Following Xiong Rui's order, 5,000 lesser demons lined up in a well-trained formation. In the next moment, each of them took out their spirit shooting crossbows and shot 5,000 fire arrows into the sky within a breath's time. Spirit shooting crossbow, huh? It's a nostalgic thing. I haven't seen it for 300 years. The young winged demon's eyes reminded him of the past. When the 5,000 fire arrows approached him, he opened his mouth and swallowed all the fire jades into his stomach, turning them into nourishment for the yin-yang locket. He formed a hand seal with both of his hands and performed a minor demonic technique, fire arrow technique. This minor demonic technique was only at the core realm. Most of the demons in the Broken Peak Guard knew how to use it. However, harmonious spirit realm experts could only produce 10 fire arrows. Gold core realm experts could produce 100 fire arrows. Even ordinary nascent soul realm experts could only produce 1,000 fire arrows. However, when this little demonic technique fell into the hands of the young winged demon, it divided into 10, 100, 1,000 and 10,000 fiery arrows. He only stopped when he had divided 15,000 fiery arrows. However, it was obvious that he still had enough demonic power to create more fiery arrows. An ordinary fire arrow could only kill an early harmonious spirit realm expert. However, the fire arrow of the young winged demon was gray in color. It was enough to kill a gold core realm expert. The corner of Xiong Rui's eyes shrank. The gray flame gave him a strong sense of danger. Earth vein demonic flame. No, it doesn't look like it. Its power is even stronger than the earth vein demonic flame. What kind of flame is this? Could it be a 6th grade spiritual flame that only void refinement realm demon generals can refine? He was wrong. This was the fusion form of 2 types of earth vein demonic flames, and 3 types of heavenly frost cold chi. When 5 types of 5th grade spiritual flames fused into one, its power was certainly not inferior to a 6th grade spiritual flame. As the young winged demon waved his sleeves, 15,000 gray fire jades immediately shot down like arrows. The camp of the Broken Peak Guard turned into a sea of fire. In just a single exchange, 7,000 harmonious spirit realm experts died under the fire jades. As for the remaining 8,000 gold core realm experts, each of them had different degrees of injuries. However, they managed to defend against this minor demonic technique. However, all of them either had their defensive magical treasures destroyed, or their arms burnt. Their eyes were filled with shock. Oh my God! Is this a minor demonic technique? Is this the enlightenment demonic technique of the demon race? What kind of person could kill 7,000 harmonious spirit realm experts with just a minor demonic technique? Even an early spirit severing demon general might not be able to do that. Liu Bei. Since this person came to the territory of the Broken Earth tribe to kill the enemies, he was most likely from the Luoyun tribe. However, since when did the Luoyun tribe have a demon general named Liu Bei? This was unheard of. After the gray fire rain, before the demons could even catch their breath, a thick black light lit up in the night sky. It turned into a black sword sense and swept across 3,000 li. Under the attack of this black sword sense, even an intermediate gold core realm demon was instantly killed. With a sweep of the sword sense, the lives of 6,000 gold core realm demons were taken away. In just a single exchange, the Broken Peak Guard's main tent was already in ruins. Corpses were everywhere. Minor demonic technique and sword sense. These 2 simple attacks were too fast. It was so fast that Xiong Rui was terrified. However, before he could do anything, the demon division had already suffered heavy losses. Before they could achieve victory, all of them were already dead. This was the elite division of Demon General Bai Yuan. Retreat, retreat, retreat. Xiong Rui took the lead and soared into the sky. He ordered the remaining demons to retreat as soon as possible. He knew that the young winged demon in front of him was not someone to be trifled with. However, he could see that this young winged demon was not a spirit-severing realm expert. His demon power was 2,150 jia. This person was powerful, but he was good at sneak attacks. If it was a fair fight, Xiong Rui did not think that he would lose. After all, his demon power of 3,000 jia was higher than this person. Even if this person's combat power was higher than his, he could still stop him for a while. However, Xiong Rui was completely wrong. The young winged beast took a step forward and suddenly turned black. His body shattered and countless ink-colored sword senses swept toward Xiong Rui like a dot of ink. Black torrent soul-splitting art. Emo Nian swept his hand and Xiong Rui's body was shattered. Only his demon nascent soul was left. Emo Nian barely managed to escape. He was an expert at the peak of 3,000 jia origin realm, but he could not fight back against this demon at all. The demon nascent soul was frightened and wanted to escape. However, the young winged demon pointed his finger at it. Freeze. At this moment, the aura of a late spirit severing realm expert was released. At this moment, red threads came out from the demon nascent soul's body and bound it. This was the true form of the body freezing art. It used its aura to suppress the enemy and bound the demon nascent soul from within the enemy's body. This body freezing art could at least freeze an early spirit severing realm expert for one breath. Furthermore, the demon nascent soul wouldn't be able to escape through self-harm. This was because the body freezing art was from the inside out. Even the demon nascent soul's thoughts were frozen. Break. A gray light flashed and the young winged demon turned into demonic smoke. He appeared in front of the demon nascent soul and pointed his finger at it. Immediately, the demon nascent soul collapsed and turned into a mist of blood. The young winged demon swallowed it. His gaze fell on the remnants of the broken peak guards. He took out his green ancient spear and formed a hand seal. Destroy. 1 was divided into 10. 10 was divided into 100. 1,000 shadows of the spear were unleashed. After the time it took for an incense stick to burn, there was no one left alive. Ning Fan looked at the military merit token. He had obtained a total of 94,607 points in this battle. In addition to the previous battle points, he had more than 150,000 points. It was enough for him to learn the demon language, let alone awakening his bloodline. After cleaning up the battlefield, Ning Fan walked to the foot of the Lianyan mountain. He pointed at his glabella and took out the Separation Slayer sword. He waved the sword and wrote 7 words on the mountain. The killer, Liu Bei of the Luoyan tribe. The demon generals of the Lai Tu tribe must have found out about Xiong Rui's death and sent people here to investigate. Once this matter is exposed, the morale of the army would definitely be shaken. Moreover, the fact that a single person could slaughter tens of thousands of demons was even more shocking than sending out the Blood Orchid Guards. It would also boost the morale of the army. Lu Sheng would be the one to worry about this. It had nothing to do with him. He was only responsible for killing people. What happened tonight would surely shock the entire Lai Tu tribe. After all, who else could annihilate an entire tribe alone unless they were titled demon generals? 3 days later, the Lai Tu tribe suffered a crushing defeat. In the Lai Tu city, the Earth General Bai Wuzuan held a jade slip in his hand and flew into a rage. Liu Bei. Who is this person? Pass down my order. In the name of the Lai Tu tribe, this person is wanted. Regardless of whether he's dead or alive, he will be rewarded with 30 million immortal jade. Liu Bei's name spread across the second world at an astonishing speed. Chapter 247. Have you heard about it? The great victory in the Mengyuan Plain? Who doesn't know about it? Demon General Lu Sheng defeated Demon General Bai Yuan of the Lai Tu tribe with his 100,000 demon army. Then, do you know that there was a person who single-handedly annihilated 15,000 elites of the Trap Peak Guard? Once his name was spread, the morale of the Lai Tu tribe's frontline fell into chaos. Ah, there's such a thing. I just came out from my seclusion. I don't know about it yet. Tell me about it. TSK. You don't know about it. This Liu Bei is wanted by a conferred demon general of the Lai Tu tribe. He has a bounty of 30 million immortal jades. TSK. 30 million immortal jades. How many things can I do with so many immortal jades? Liu Bei. This person's name sounds a little familiar. How can it not be familiar? Do you know who this Liu Bei is? He is the biggest playboy in our northern desert city. But just half a month ago, he destroyed the Bright Jade Tower with a single step. Destroyed the Bright Jade Tower? Was he the one who did that as well? Liu Bei. I remember now. Isn't Liu Bei the shame of the northern desert? Could it be that he isn't a trash but a mid-spirit severing realm expert? Such discussions could be seen everywhere in the northern desert city. A young man in white robes was holding the hand of a young girl, who was rubbing her eyes while walking on the street. He did not care about the discussions of the crowd. Once someone recognized the young man's identity, they immediately avoided him as if they had seen a ghost. He's Liu Bei, General Liu of the Blood Orchid Guards. Should lower your voice. Ning Fan remained silent. He did not pay attention to these discussions at all. Half a month had passed since the great victory in the Mengyuan Plain. During this time, Ning Fan went to the scripture tower every day to practice the ancient demon language. The ancient demon language was difficult to learn. Every stroke contained a talisman formation technique. Even the tactics, meaning, and divine abilities of each word were recorded in a book. That's right. Each word in the book was equivalent to a type of talisman formation. With Ning Fan's intelligence, he only managed to learn 200 words of the demon language within half a month. These 200 words were the entirety of the northern desert city. With these 200 words, he could only translate 1/3 of the incantation on the Eastern Ocean Bell. As for something like a cultivation technique, the difference of a single word was like the difference between heaven and earth. The northern desert city is a war-torn city at the border. Naturally, the demon language is incomplete. If I want to learn the complete demon language, I have to go to the Luoyun prefecture. Cloud General Lu Daochen, also known as Teacher Lu, is rumored to be extremely knowledgeable and proficient in the ancient demon language. In this prefecture, there is even a rubbing of the demon code. If I want to decipher the entire mnemonic chant, I still have to go to the prefecture. Moreover, regarding the world passage of the third realm, I have to get close to Lu Daochen in order to have a chance to find out more. He muttered something to himself that Mu Xiaohuan could not understand. The little stutterer raised his head and nibbled on the sesame seed cake, while staring at Ning Fan with his big eyes. Master, where are we going? Go look for Lu Sheng. Today is the day we agreed to awaken the demon blood. After staying in the scripture tower for half a month, Ning Fan had not only learned the ancient demon language, but also looked up the information about the awakening of his bloodline. Walking beasts absorb the chi of heaven and earth, the spirit of the sun and moon, and the essence of blood and flesh. After the vein opening realm, they become demonic beasts. As for harmonious spirit demonic beasts, many of them could transform into a half-human half-beast form. When they reach the gold core realm, they could choose to completely transform into a human or a beast. After doing so, they would face the first awakening of their demon blood. When they reached the nascent soul realm, demon cultivators would form their demon nascent souls while demon beasts would maintain their demon cores. This step would require the second awakening of their demon blood. After reaching the divine transformation realm, demon cultivators would become demon generals while demon beasts would become wild beasts. After reaching the divine transformation realm, the third awakening of their demon blood could be achieved. During the first awakening of their demon blood, most of them would be ordinary bloodlines unless they possessed the bloodline of a true spirit race. They were divided into more than 10 types such as winged demons, grass demons, beast demons, sea demons and spirit demons. During the second awakening of their demon blood, they would undergo specific evolution. For example, Ning Fan's winged demons could evolve into countless demon species such as eagles, cranes, sparrows, pigeons, geese, bats, vultures, swallows and so on. However, all of them belong to the ordinary demon species. The rarer ones would be the hybrid demon species. For example, a griffin that awakened the bloodline of a beast demon and a winged demon at the same time was a hybrid demon species. The rarest of them would be the immemorial remnant bloodline. The immemorial dark sparrow, immemorial fire phoenix and immemorial golden crow were the bloodlines of an immemorial true spirit race. If one was able to activate such a bloodline, then it could be said to be like ascending to the heavens in a single step for a demon cultivator, and they would possess the possibility of ascending and joining a true spirit race after ascending. However, during the second awakening, even if the primordial bloodline was stimulated, it would still be called remnant bloodline because it was too thin. Only during the third awakening would these remnant bloodlines have the possibility of advancing one last time. His target was naturally the immemorial demon vein. Therefore, for the second awakening, he must at least awaken a broken immemorial vein. With a total of 200,000 battle merits, he had at least 2 chances to awaken. In the northern desert city, the east of the city was a forbidden area. There was a 10,000 zhang tall gigantic black egg, which gave Ning Fan a strange sense of familiarity. This was the egg of a demon general. The egg of a demon general in deep slumber. Ning Fan had read about it in the scripture tower, but it was his first time seeing it up close. Demon general's egg. Ning Fan recollected his thoughts and approached them step by step. As they approached the giant egg, several cold voices came from within. Halt your steps. From today onwards, the bloodline pool will be used by the demon general. Those who are unrelated to this, leave immediately. While they were shouting, a door of light appeared on the surface of the black egg. 12 nascent soul realm demon guards walked out of the door and stared at Ning Fan with unfriendly eyes. However, when they saw Ning Fan's appearance, their expressions changed greatly. They immediately cupped their fists and greeted him. We have offended you. Commander Lu, please apologize for our rudeness. Commander, the commander of all the demon soldiers. The life and death of these nascent soul realm demon soldiers would be decided by Ning Fan. When they thought of how they had offended Ning Fan with their words, their faces turned bitter. However, Ning Fan did not say anything. He just nodded and asked, "Is the bloodline demon pool ready?" "Don't worry, Commander. The blood pool is already filled with the blood of gold core realm demon beasts. Moreover, the demon general has given the order that no one is allowed to stay within 10,000 zhang of the blood pool. If Commander is not satisfied with the blood, I will immediately send someone to replace the blood. No need. Lead the way." Ning Fan patted Mu Xiaohuan's head and whispered something into her ear. Then he kept her in his cauldron ring. His expression darkened and he stepped into the door of light under the lead of the demon soldiers. The inside of the black egg was filled with black armored guards. They were guarding Ning Fan's bloodline awakening. It showed how much importance Lu Xing placed on this matter. At the end of the path was the first inner palace. There was a jade wall in the palace. It was the wall of demon shadow. Lu Sheng, Lu Wan'er and the others were already waiting for him under the jade wall. Commander Lu, you have contributed a lot in the victory of the grassland plain. Today you have awakened your bloodline. I, Lu Sheng, will personally protect you. If anyone is blind and dares to do anything, I will definitely kill them. Lu Xing's words were obviously a warning to Lu Zongyun and Hao Chun. Hao Chun's body trembled when he felt the aura of the demon general. He immediately lowered his head and did not dare to look at Ning Fan. As for his father Lu Zongyun, he smiled bitterly and cupped his fists. He had never caused Liu Bei to awaken his bloodline. However, Lu Xing did not believe his explanation. Don't worry, Commander Lu. I will definitely do my best. However, please be careful. Don't fail. If you Liu Bei Wan fail again and again, Lord Demon General will definitely think that it's my fault. I have been doing this for nearly 1,000 years, but I have never caused any harm to anyone. Awakening my bloodline is a matter of great importance. I will do my best. That's good. Lu Zongyun's eyes flashed with surprise. The Liu Bei in front of him right now was incomparable to the Liu Bei in his memory, whether it was his aura or his aura. Among the 700 demon soldiers of the Luo Yun sect, Liu Bei was the only one who failed to awaken his bloodline for the second time. Lu Zongyun had a deep impression of that hedonistic young master, who failed to awaken his bloodline. In the past, he even asserted that if it wasn't for the Lu family's ancestors, Liu Bei would definitely not be able to form his nascent soul. However, at this moment, Lu Zongyun firmly believed that the Liu Bei in front of him was definitely not a weakling who relied on his ancestors. He had been living with demon blood every day. Thus, he was especially sensitive to it. From Ning Fan's body, Lu Zongyun could feel an enormous demon blood qi which suffocated him. It was as if Ning Fan had killed hundreds of thousands of nascent soul realm demonic beasts and devoured thousands of wild beasts. I must be mistaken. Devouring the blood of thousands of wild beasts. How is this possible? Lu Zongyun shook his head with a bitter smile, thinking that he was really thinking too much. Commander Lu, please leave a trace of demon blood qi on the wall of demon shadow. With this qi, the jade wall will be able to determine your bloodline. Ning Fan's gaze swept across the jade wall. This 1,000 zhang tall jade wall had recorded tens of thousands of names, and the types of their bloodlines. Without saying much, he forced out a trace of demon blood, and flicked it onto the jade wall. Immediately, a name appeared at the back of the jade wall. Liu Bei, Winged Demon Bloodline Score, 17 level. The score of 17 level was below 10,000. but it was not the lowest. After all, even though Ning Fan did not know the method to awaken his bloodline, he had more or less devoured the blood of many ferocious beasts. Unknowingly, his bloodline had improved a lot. Rank 17? Fortunately, it's not considered low. In that case, Lord Commander only needs to absorb the power of the blood in the blood pool after you enter it. I, Lu, will kowtow to the demon ancestor in front of the demon statue. Fu Wan will perform the technique to enhance the power of Lord Commander's bloodline. As long as your bloodline score reaches 25 level, you can begin to awaken your bloodline. Indeed, one could begin to awaken their bloodline at 25 level. However, after reaching 60 level, one could try to awaken a hybrid bloodline. If one's bloodline reaches 100 level, one could even awaken a broken immemorial bloodline. To a person who had failed to awaken his bloodline before, Lu Zhongyan did not think that Ning Fan could reach 60 level, let alone 100 level. In fact, he was only 70% confident that Ning Fan could reach 25 level. After all, Liu Bei had a dark history of failing to awaken his bloodline. I hope this person can reach 25 level. Otherwise, Lord Demon General will definitely think that I'm the one who harmed him. Lu Zhongyan sighed. You're tuning in to the Li Mei's Wuxia Whispers YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.